those things, know that deception is in the air. And it's on you at this point, y'all. If y'all really took the time to think, my soul is on the line for this. This ain't about no fame or no glory. This is about where my soul is going to spend eternity. And y'all, we can't say on that day, I got tricked out of my soul. No, that ain't happening. Understand this, y'all. So we're going to pick right back up. Let's kind of reiterate the power of the Holy Spirit and what it won't allow wickedness to do. So let's just right back up with that 1 Corinthians 12th chapter.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 12. You want to start at down to Solomon?
Right, where probably verse 1. Verse 3 is where I really want to go, 1 through 3.
1 Corinthians 12 and 1.
Yeah, go. I tell you what, just bust all of them gifts out. Down to 12. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, 1 Corinthians chapter 12. 1 Corinthians chapter 12. We're going to start at verse 12.
What do you want to do? You want to go on down?
Back. So start at 6.
Start at 6? Okay. Okay.
All right, y'all. 1 Corinthians chapter 12. We start at verse 6. Verse 6. Just let me know when we stop. Right? All good. How we looking? Everybody there? We good?
No, I want you to hit 3 because I want to explain something about this.
I go to 1.
Yeah, might as well go to 1. Yeah, just I wanted to make sure that we pick up that anybody can't do this. You know, because we'll get a lot of people saying that it don't matter who calls on the Messiah, he gonna hear him. Yeah, he gonna hear you.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 1.
What it say, bro?
Now concerning spiritual gifts, brethren, I would not have you ignorant.
So we need to get the clear understanding of concerning spiritual gifts. Y'all, this is the whole thing about it. This is how the script says you're going to know if the Lord is dealing with you. Spiritual gifts are going to come to you. It may not be the one you're looking for. It's going to be the one that the Lord gives to you to work this purpose. It's his will be done, not ours. You can't opt for one. If you do, your heart is already fixed and it says, this is the one I want to do or to have to strengthen the body. It ain't about you. It's about strengthening this body. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 2. Ye know that ye were Gentiles, carried away into these dumb idols.
So just like our mindsets is today with a Gentile mindset or a mindset of the ways of the world.
Right.
We got a terrible mindset with that. 1 minute we own and the next minute the world will suck us right back in. One way or the other, y'all, and it ain't no separating yourself from the world because it ain't nowhere to go to separate yourself from the world unless you stay in the house, put some dark curtains up, peep out every now and then. But you're going to deal with this world one way or the other, and that's your test. Lot lived in Sodom and Gomorrah, and y'all ain't seen nothing even to come close to Sodom and Gomorrah. I'm talking about Sodom and Gomorrah sins reached to heaven that the Most High sent a nuclear spiritual bomb and destroyed it, and it's been that way ever since. There ain't a piece of grass. You know how grass grow back up through the concrete? That don't grow in Sodom and Gomorrah. Not even that. And Lot lived there and kept his integrity. Never fell off, never was lured into the wickedness, but everybody that came, he steady spread it and was right there. And they knew who he was. They kept their distance from him. The only time he ever got threatened is when those angels came there and the power of lust and men raping was overpowering them livers in Sodom and Gomorrah. And they told Lot then, we'll take care of you too if you don't get out the way. That's when the bomb hit. Where we at, bro?
Even as ye were led. Verse
That's
3.
right.
Wherefore I give you to understand that no man speaking by the Spirit of Yah calleth the Messiah accursed, and that no man can say that Jesus is the Lord but by the Holy Ghost.
So no man could call him a curse and then expect the Holy Spirit to come to you. And when you call him a curse, it's not just calling him a name. Yeah, we hear people use names. We had a few that left here call him a hippie on a stick and all of that. But when we're talking about call him a curse, mean saying that he's not the son of the Father. Go ahead, brother.
Before you learn, well, I'm saying it took me a long time to understand that.
Right.
What about when I understood that many years I kind of made light of the factors, but I was thinking that was simply the joke, you know.
Right.
And I hated him for that fact. It took me a long time to understand who he really was and what he represented.
Right.
Would I'd be held accountable for that?
No, because you were hating on outside information. Everything you hated on was not in here. The only way they made you hate was in here. They had to get you to hate this, and that's to say it was tampered with. Then that agrees with that spirit of yours that this is, it says every word is pure. Not some of it, not just the Old Testament. It said every word in here from Genesis to Revelation is pure. So once that, the pure doctrine, or it says holy on the front of here, once you say it's tampered with, you have to scratch holy off of here.
Right.
Holy means set apart. It's separate. It's sanctified. Once you say it's tampered with, you cannot walk around with holy on her if you say, I think there's a tampering in her. Because if you do, you got to do it to the point that where you're showing the people, this has been tampered with, this has been tampered with, this has been tampered with. And the only problem with doing somebody like that is what you got it for then. Because who you going to prove to it any righteousness in it, because you don't know what else is tampered with. So again, we use examples like a pot of greens with a ham hock in it, big as a football. If somebody tell you ain't nothing wrong with them greens, I'll scoop the ham hock out. You think the juice don't count? Where you at, man? You had something? Yes, sir.
Because a lot of folks come into the understanding later and then, you know, regret what it was that they were brought up on.
That's right.
But the Bible and its infinite wisdom already prophesied about that, right? This is Matthew 12, bro. Matthew 12, verse 31 and 32. All right, it says, wherefore I say unto you, all manner of sin and blasphemy.
What kind of sin?
All manner of sin and blasphemy shall be forgiven unto me.
See, that blasphemy are damn lies. So go ahead, bro.
But the blasphemy against the Holy Ghost shall not be forgiven unto me. And whosoever speaketh a word against the Son of Man, it shall be forgiven him. But whosoever speaketh against the Holy Ghost, it shall not be forgiven him. Neither in this world, neither in the world to come. Either make the tree good and his fruit good, or else make the tree corrupt and his fruit corrupt. For the tree is known by its fruit.
So the tree is known by its fruit because of what it bears. So all throughout this scripture, you'll never see the Messiah telling anybody point blank, yeah, I'm him. So without a miracle being there, without understanding being opened up, that they see first, and then he tell them, because even the woman at the well, he asked, well, what does the scripture say? Who does it say? Well, our fathers worship him. And when Messiah come, she knows about the prophecy, so that's clear. The Messiah's coming. He say, I'm he. Let me break off something to you. You've been married. Well, you've been with five husbands you had. The one you with ain't your husband. She like, oh. You just rattled that one off. But he never told her to sin, so whatever current situation she was not transgressing the law at that point, because he didn't say go and sin no more like he did with the woman caught in adultery. Right. So we ain't gonna get it mixed up that 5 husbands and whoever she currently with is not married. Then apparently, according to the Messiah, she was under a provision that was not a transgression of the law concerning who she was with then. Go ahead, bro.
1 Corinthians 12, verse 4. Now there are diversity of gifts, but the same Spirit. And there are differences of administration, but the same Lord. And there are diversities of operations, but it is the same God, which worketh all in all. But the manifestation of the Spirit is given to every man to profit with it.
See, to every man, once you say, I'm a believer, the Most High is going to come to you in a dream or a vision. A lot of times we neglect what we've heard or what we felt. You know, man, I heard that about 15 years ago and I still didn't believe it then. Your history is there when the Most High come to you. That's how he's going to make a fair and balanced judgment. Because you heard these things. It's just if you'll admit it publicly to somebody. Man, you know, my grandmother used to say that, man, 30 years ago we was the Jew. I never paid it no attention. So the Spirit, when the Most High give it out to you, he's not going to allow it to go into anybody to curse him. Now, a lot of people think because of doctrine out there saying once saved, always saved, that ain't nowhere written in here. You can get the Holy Spirit and go left field and the Most High send a death angel to you and kill you on the spot. Receiving the Holy Spirit don't guarantee you're going to the kingdom unless you continue to work it to the end of time or the end of your life.
Right.
Go ahead, bro.
Hold on, bro. Tomas.
Who got it?
The guy that went all the way to the end and fell off.
Yeah.
When the lion ripped him apart, he was told to do what he was commanded to do his orders, and he went against him.
That's right.
1 Kings 13.
Yes, sir.
He had the Spirit because he was a prophet. Fell off at the end. Yeah.
Samson had the Spirit, and he knew when the Spirit left him. Soon as them Philistine came on him, he was used to, he like telling Delilah all lies. No, if you tie me up with this flax rope, I can't break that. Samson, the minute he break it. But when that hair got cut, it wasn't the hair because that would be idol worship. It was the final straw with the Most High. He had a whole list of things he wasn't supposed to do. Be around dead bodies, wasn't supposed to be drinking no wine, and for sure wasn't supposed to marry no harlot. So we have to understand these things, that when Samson, he said, when he went to hit the men and that punch slid off of him like Pee Wee Herman hit him, he like, oh, it's gone. The power's gone. Go ahead, bro.
This is a personal question. Why do you think Samson knew this woman, what she was about? Why do you think he gave in so easily?
Well, the thing was from the Lord when you read further on down, but it was for him to take the Philistines. But he fell in love. It was a different way. So it says, the script says he always had his head laying on her lap. Right. Always, every time, hey baby. So he couldn't focus on what he needed to do. But the thing was from the Lord to get him inside of the Philistine, because if you understand who Delilah was an agent for the Philistine. So she was, the Most High used wickedness against wickedness, so he was going to use her to bring him down. But the tables got flipped on Samson, because Samson started trusting in his own self that this thing was about him. Because even when his parents told him, you know, is not a daughter of Israel, he didn't address that matter, you know, and he didn't express himself that this is something from the Lord that I'm doing. Because they told him, is there not a daughter of Israel that you can marry? He just get the wedding ready for her. That's who I want. So it became more of a lust power thing. The same thing we're going to go over today in Numbers 22 when we hit a little bit on Balaam or Balaam. We're going to explain a lot of things that's going on with Balaam, a super witch back in the day. A super witch. I'm talking about could work a wonder before us right now. Half of us will take out through that back door with it locked. Some of us will go that way and it'll be them Three Stooges images of you going through the wall right there. I'm talking about a super witch, y'all, but we're going to read a few of these things that the Most High say, if you see that, don't even pay it no mind. Right. Because they're subject to you. You be like, hey, demon, hold up. Cut all that foolishness out. And he has to obey. But if he scares you in your sleep, you ain't going to understand that power that you have over him. If you dominate him in your dreams, in your unconscious vision, you will dominate him when you awake. And all of us, they going to visit us. When you hear that dog growling and ain't nobody around, you're like, what is it, boy? And you looking around, what is it? They feel it and they see it. Get on your game. Satan is a roving lion, y'all. I ain't gonna take too much time with that. Go ahead, Mal. You asked
Verse
me.
8, 1 Corinthians 12, verse 8. For to one is given by the Spirit the word of wisdom.
So to one is given the word of wisdom. So wisdom is one of the gifts of the Holy Spirit. It's not the Holy Spirit like certain Israelite groups out here teach. That wisdom is the Holy Spirit. It's one of the attributes of the Holy Spirit. It's a chief spirit, because if you get all the other ones and you don't understand wisdom, and you don't understand it, even if when they try to, it's like a feminine type of spirit that you have to have close to you. It don't mean it's all female, it turn you into male. It wants you to hold it close to your bosom.
Like you would your woman.
Like you would your woman. That's all it's saying. Keep it close to you, and it'll guard you through poverty. It'll help you out through having riches. You won't fall off, because wisdom is keeping close to you. Now, the wisest man that ever lived on earth, what happened to him? Because he looked at wisdom like the women he was dealing with, 1,000 of them. And he lost wisdom that wise. How is the wisest man in the world not seeing what's happening to him? By women. So he started to trust that the Most High was going to deal with him. It can't never leave him. But if it hadn't have been for David, the Most High would have put Solomon down. He said, because of your father, the only reason you being left alive to serve out this time, but it's only because of your daddy. Go ahead.
To another, the word of knowledge.
The word of what?
Knowledge.
See, y'all, and knowledge means to have understanding of, to take in of the knowing. Is also, knowledge is used as the understanding of sexual intercourse. Knowledge, the tree of knowledge, good and evil. And the only time you're seeing knowledge a lot in here are know, and Adam knew Eve, K-N-E-W, which is short of knowledge, understanding that was a sexual know. Yeah, there's some know, hey, how you doing, or knowledge about this subject, but this knowledge is about understanding the intimate relationship with us and the Most High. If you ain't understanding that, and you don't have an intimate relationship with him, free of this stuff we doing here on the other side of midnight, you sadly mistaken. That knowledge of understanding that, because he says, I gird your loins with truth. So this area right here that Adam and Eve tried to cover up in the garden, both of them covered this area. She didn't have like she was a blood or a crip, and both of them covered this if they ate an apple. No, they didn't cover up here. Wasn't no Jesse James looks in the garden. Go ahead, man.
By the same Spirit.
By the what?
Same Spirit.
Uh-huh.
Verse 9. To another faith by the same Spirit. To another the gifts of healing by the same Spirit. To another the working of miracles.
The working of what?
Miracles.
Uh-huh.
To another prophecy. To another discerning of spirits. To another diverse kinds of tongues. To another the interpretation of tongues. But all these worketh that one and the self-same Spirit.
That's right.
Dividing to every man severally as he will.
So the Most High divides these spirits up. Severally as he will, and he see many are called but few are chosen. Look, everybody will get the chance to jump on here, but it's only the chosen ones, and the chosen ones are the ones that adhere and say, yes, Lord, I feel you, I'm with you. And then a spirit is given to you to see if you do with all your portion of it. And we got great men that accomplish these. It's easy work, y'all, because it's power that he's going to let you know, I'm with you. It ain't like you got to guess. It ain't like you need to go take a DNA class because you dropped somebody with one of these. You know where that power coming from. When David dropped Goliath, he knew exactly where that power was coming from. Gave all the glory to him. You finished that map?
Let me know how far you want to go down.
Verse 12. Okay.
All right, verse 12. For as the body is one, and have many members, and all the members of that one body, being many, are one body, so also is the Messiah.
Go ahead down. I want you to read on down to 18.
Verse 13. For by one Spirit are we all baptized into one body.
Right.
Whether we be Jews or Gentiles. Whether we be bond or free.
Right.
And have been all made to drink into one Spirit.
That's right.
For the body is not one member, but many. If the foot shall say, because I am not the hand, I am not of the body, is it therefore not of the body?
See, so we can't get one track or sidetracked with one thing, because we're going to leave the door open for all of this other work that needs to be done. Everybody, look, we got street teaching. We got partial Sabbath teaching, Wednesday night teaching. We got radio teaching, but we still got other work to do. We got garden. We got events coming up. We got this issue around here that where we got to keep this solid and tight. So it's a lot of work to do. The harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. So y'all, it's still, don't think because I ain't up there and I want to get up there, that may not be your gift right now. I'm not saying never. We're talking about right now. If you covet a certain gift, you can't give it back. No, that one was too much for me. I want to return this working of miracles. No, you can't. Ain't no return policy. Then because you telling on yourself that that's what I got it for, just personal or coveting it just to show off maybe yesterday. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 16. And if the earth shall say, because I am not the eye, I am not of the body, is it therefore not of the body? If the whole body were an eye, where were the hearing? If the whole were hearing, where were the smelling? But now have Yah set the members, every one of them, in the body as it hath pleased him.
As it had pleased who?
Him.
See, so it ain't about pleasing us. It's about pleasing him. And what we got to make sure, y'all, is that we don't have this hospital gown doctrine or teaching around here. And that means you're all front and no back. Y'all know how a hospital gown tie up in the back.
Rear and cold and ashy. You watch him walk to the bathroom, you be like, damn, they ain't even put him on no drawer. So we can't leave a flank open like that. If we see it, if you hear something, don't whisper it to nobody else. Bring it down here and say, this is what I'm seeing, and I think it's going to be a problem for the body. It could set up some infection. If you don't bring it out front like this and then we start hearing it over there around the corner somewhere, that ain't doing us no good. Because by the time we get on it, it's going to need penicillin then. It's going to be out of control. Go ahead, bro. Verse 19. And if there were all one member, where were the body? But now are they many members, yet but one body.
So jump right down to verse 29.
Yes, sir. Verse 29.
28, I'm sorry. Yeah,
28.
28, yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
Verse 28. And the Most High hath set some in the church. First, apostles.
First who?
Apostles.
See, so we ain't seen first generals or lieutenants or captains. Apostles. Yeah. If you want a definition of apostle, y'all know how to look it up. We're going to go ahead on for time's sake. Go ahead, bro.
Secondarily, prophets.
Who? Secondarily, prophets. Why is apostles above prophets? Because some prophets are born to be prophets, like Jeremiah. They're on a mission from the womb. John the Baptist, they were born for this. But an apostle usually is an individual that was kicking against the pricks or a direct communication with the Most High. Abraham in this time would have been an apostle. We're talking about communication with him. The disciples are apostles, the 12 apostles. We're talking about interaction with the Messiah, working, and they had almost all the gifts. Judas Iscariot was given these gifts. Or you saying this eliminates him being born to be wicked. He was given an opportunity and he still chose the way of Balaam. Go ahead, bro. Oh, no, it ain't gonna be your last, but you know, you good. We in Bible study.
I understand probably so they were given these special gifts. Why didn't they use those gifts to save their own lives? Because they all died. And a lot of them died violent deaths.
Well, the Holy Spirit is not to save your life in that perspective. Their life was saved because they took it to the end. Because it's told you, some of you going to be killed. Some of you going to be put to death. He's going to cast some of you in jail. But you can't stop. You got to keep moving this thing, because Daniel in the lion den, if he would have stopped, we wouldn't have saw that. Joseph been thrown into prison on a free case, but they knew who was with him. And Joseph, quiet as kept, we think he was just in there a couple of years. He was 12 years in on that false charge of adultery. Shalom, bro.
Nobody messed with that brother, if you know what I mean. But I'm quite sure they did try it. You know what I'm saying?
But they saw the Spirit on him.
Okay.
They knew exactly what was on him. But the Most High knew who he was and where his heart was, because Satan is always tempting. You throw him in prison, he a pretty boy. I bet he don't make it.
Exactly.
He like, oh, he'll make it. Ain't no problem. Right? He just withstood the most beautiful woman on earth at this time, Pharaoh's wife. If you get into the book of Jasher and you see how she put a sword to his neck. You gonna give me some of that tonight. First, after all of the smells, getting rid of everybody, finally when he said, well, you might well gonna kill me. Now this is when we talking about faith that's saying, I trust you and I believe if she killed me about keeping your commandments, I'm gonna live forevermore. That's the mindset. Not this carnal life, because this, you ain't problem. You can live good forever, but guess what? Austin Lane is coming with cotton and embalming fluid to stuff up your rear and put you on display like this. There ain't no spirit out here that's gonna stop the death angel for coming. Go ahead, bro.
Give
Where
the
we at?
Holy Spirit to teach about the coming kingdom.
That's right.
You eventually going to have to lay your life down. That's what it is. All the prophets,
And the Messiah laid his life down.
Messiah, all the disciples.
What's that?
Why can't he save himself?
Right.
Yeah, why he can save himself? The Holy Spirit is not given to you to live eternally on this side.
That's right.
You got a specific job to do, and when your time is done, it's over. John the Baptist's head was cut off because he told Herod, like, look, you know you're not supposed to be laying with your brother's wife. Told him that in front of a whole crowd full of folks. And he
That's right.
got his head cut off. You feel me? So the Holy Spirit is not a guarantee for you to live forever on this side. You understand? You just got to finish your course so you can live forever. Return. L9, what's up, Hebrew?
Proverbs 22, 24 says, say not thou, I will recompense evil, but wait on the Lord, and he shall save thee. Thy words wait an abomination unto the Lord, and a false balance is not good.
A false what?
A false balance is not good. 24, man's going are of the Lord. How can a man understand all the way?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Man's going to the Lord. He don't want to dictate everything what it is, so you can't understand your own way.
That's Proverbs 22.
Yo, and it's not in robot mode that man's going of the Lord. It's a choice that's been presented to you that man go of the Lord. You gonna express it whether death's at the door or not.
Right.
And you will make statements like, we rather obey God than man. That's how we get down, because they told Peter now, locked him up. You can't preach out here about this no more. Let them out that same night, and they was back at the temple. They like, the men you threatened about preaching, they back at the temple again. This is what we talking about, fully devoted to the word of the Most High. And when you look up holy, there's two definitions. Worthy of reverence and worship. It can't be us. We can't get ourselves that we so holy that somebody would worship us. Because we die. The second definition is completely devoted to one's deity. That means setting yourself apart. That's what the Messiah said. Be ye holy like me, for this is the pattern, so to speak. Because I take all my commandments from my Father. Everything he asked me to do, I did it. Wasn't no question about it. I went forth with it, even until his death, which it was the most brutal death ever recorded in history. I'm talking about to bring you to death's door and then hang you on a cross and let you hang up like this, and then when you start suffocating like this. After all that beating and torture, they scourged him, and that's a whip with little razor blades on the end of it. Hitting you across your flesh, and it's cutting like 10,000 times a paper cut. Y'all know the sharp pain you get from a paper cut? Oh! And that was just a piece of paper. Now this razor blade is hitting you, slicing you like this.
And yanking flesh off.
And yanking flesh off. Then they getting hit in the jaw while he walking by. Some just grabbed his beard and got a hunk of it. Yeah, the Messiah. Kick him in his. Still him in the jaw when he walking by. He taking all of it.
I feel sorry for whoever that was in that day.
Walking by, spitting in his face. You wipe it out and keep going.
Stole the Lord?
Keep going. Yeah, you stole on the law.
Boy, I feel sorry for you with
But
that.
he say, I turn my cheeks to the smiters. Yeah.
Now, when you talk about this, who was this that did that? We know that Caesar put him on the cross, but he also gave him a way out. And he said, y'all got a feast day today. So, legally, y'all don't got to put him up early. But let's take this other dude that we seen doing foul stuff. We seen breaking the law. 'Cause I can't find none of him. So, speak on who was gripping his beard. Because we forget this. We talk about this.
It was Israel.
Judas.
But them Romans did that whooping.
We did this.
Yeah. Yeah, but the scourging and the nailing them to the cross, the Romans got to play a part in that. So even though we was crazy, right? Yeah, ain't nobody getting off. Yeah.
That's how easy we can get it to them OTC camps. That's how quickly we can fall short. We can succumb to them thoughts of talking about the Gentiles and not trying to be a light to the world. We just be a corruption for real.
That's right.
We deceive our own family. Think we right.
And y'all, and a stumbling block, you meaning, bro. Becoming a stumbling block, y'all. We can't do that, and Israel do that more than anybody. Once you get a hold of this, you know, you think it's supposed to be automatic that everything changes because you know you Israel. No, you got to make the change first. You think it's just gonna be automatic and you just waiting on the gift. Damn, it's been a couple of hours. You peeping out the window, I ain't seen a gift truck out there yet. You know, no, don't come like that.
Gift truck. Hey, what bro saying is a good point though, because those Israelites that came and locked them up too.
That's right.
They came and locked them up in the garden that night. That was the chief. They were sent by the chief priests and them. That was officers and captains and all that. Those was Israelites that came and locked the Messiah up. The brother Peter cut his ear off. That was an Israelite.
Yeah.
Cut his ear off. Dude named Malchus cut his ear off. The Messiah put that on up. He put his ear right back on.
Now y'all understand that this is the mercy of the Messiah, that he wasn't going to allow a zealous Israelite like Peter who was quick with the sword. Peter would be like somebody today that always got their pistol, the safety, the only thing on is locked and loaded, the safety on. Sometimes the safety ain't on. They just ready for action. Zealous, but will take you down. I mean, minute. Peter was a zealot. They would go up against the Romans in a heartbeat, but the Messiah couldn't allow him to have that spirit coming into his walk because it's going to disturb prophecy. Right. That was Peter that cut that high priest's ear off. I mean, with precision. He didn't even know it for a minute. He's like, wait a minute, I'm hearing on one side, my ear off.
That takes skill though. To aim at somebody's ear, just hit his ear. You don't give him a skin fade or nothing. You hit his ear.
Hit his ear.
That ear is off. That show you that the men that was rolling with him had skill. You know what I'm saying? But that wasn't, salvation ain't about that.
Right.
Salvation ain't about that. You know what I'm saying? 2,000 plus more years had to go by before the kingdom come. Right.
That's right.
You wasn't even finna get it on that go around.
And it ain't never been about violence in that part to bring in a peaceful society. He has this time when violence causes it to be brought in. It's just like David couldn't build the temple. David had blood dripping off his elbows. A lot of it, majority of it righteous, but he had some unrighteous blood on there. Uriah the Hittite he had killed for his woman. So he said, I can't let your hands build the holy temple. You can't be involved, but I'm gonna let your offspring do it. And that's where Solomon came in, because he's a righteous judge, y'all. He didn't want us thinking that we have to cut somebody's ear off to get us into the fold, so to speak.
Right.
It's trust and obedience that you're going to do the right thing, and then you be given a sword. Look, the righteous is given a sword to come back and destroy the nations. Not cause some Negroes hollering, I can't wait to cut you heathens' head off. That means nothing to the Most High. You first have to be told, well done, servant. Here's your ammunition. Get ready. We finna go take the nation. We finna take the kingdoms of the world. Here's a sword in your hand. You've been proven to the point that you understand perfect hatred. You ain't mad at this man because he pulled you over with bad stickers. That's why you want to cut his head off, because you was on your way to do some wickedness or something. Go ahead, bro. Where you at?
1 Corinthians 12, we still in verse 28.
Go ahead, bro.
And the Most High set some in the church, first apostles,
Right,
secondarily prophets,
right.
thirdly teachers, after that miracles.
See, you see that thirdly teachers, that's what we pretty much do down here at teachers. So ain't no problem with me being third on the list. I know if I need to elevate my game, there's more above that, but it's territory coming with that. Don't put yourself in a position where you ain't ready for that territory. Don't pick fights you ain't ready to. Because you can't be running back up on the porch and knocking on, don't let me in there after me. You show disrespect to that spirit. How you running like a coward dog? You barking, bagging up. Who you scared? So y'all, you can't put yourself in that position. When that spirit come on you, you better be doing the work of the Lord, so everybody know that's the power of the Most High. That's what you can't blaspheme against. And to turn your back on that or weasel back means blasphemous activity against the Holy Spirit at that point. Because you showing the rest of the world it ain't no power from the God who calls himself power. No, this ain't like that episode you see on, what is it, STV or something? Not that power. That power is controlled by the feds and other organizations that'll be after you to kill you. And money. This power will grant you eternal life if you keep it until the end. Go ahead, Matt. Will you finish that?
After that miracle.
After that what?
Miracle. Then gifts of healing.
Right.
Helps, governments, diversity of tongues.
Yeah.
Are all apostles, are all prophets, are all teachers, are all workers of miracles, have all the gifts of healing, do all speak with tongues, do all interpret, but covet earnestly the best gifts.
The what gifts?
The best gifts.
So we read a couple of the best gifts. It started out, wisdom is one of the best gifts. But there is one that 1 Corinthians 13 we're going to hit next to tell you this supersedes all of them. Right. We're going to hit that next. Go ahead, man. Did that finish that?
And yet I show unto you a more excellent way.
Right. So hit that 1 Corinthians 13 and 1.
1 Corinthians 13 and 1, the way of love. Though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels, and have not charity, I am become a sounding brass or a tinkling cymbal. So
if he said, if I have all the languages of the world, which the Bible records at 70, there may be 170,000 languages, but there's 70 languages that the world recognizes as knowing the languages of God. Genesis 9th and 10th chapter, when those were separated, we get into the book of Asher that the 70 languages were given to Joseph. Yeah. And he told them to Pharaoh, because Pharaoh sat on the 70th platform, so to speak, of the steps. Every man could speak a language. He would come up to those steps where he can speak. Everybody stopping at 2 or 3. Joseph run all 70 of them. And he gave all of the glory to the Most High. He taught me them languages last night. Last night. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 2. And though I had a gift of prophecy, and understand all mysteries, and all knowledge.
And all what?
Knowledge. And though I have all faith, so that I could remove mountains, and have not charity, I am nothing.
See, he's just saying it's basically to be seen of men, and the Most High, he don't tell you, he don't order. You know what you're supposed to do when you get that gift. And if you do it for personal gain, you have nothing.
Daniel, what do you mean by charity? Like giving to the Red Cross or what?
No.
What's charity, bro?
Charity is the love or the keeping of the commandments with the gifts. There's no greater charity than love, you know, and that's the keeping of the commandments. There's no charity. He even talked about it in Sirach 35:1. Keeping the law is sacrifice enough. If you start off with that, basically obeying and being obedient, but they'll have us thinking charity or some people, because you can get a whole pot of money and you can just say, well, I'll give this side to that, and you go on about your business somewhere. And you ain't checked on it. You like, well, I gave some charity. Oh, they messed up the money. No, it's not. If you give it from that point, or it's the same thing, Matthew 6 in prayer when he said, don't do your alms before men. You ain't got to show nobody you finna. See, that ain't charity when you give to the poor from that perspective. Cause somebody around. Hold on. See these poor niggas over here? Hold on, wait a second. 20 for you. 20 for you. And 20 for you. See, bro, that's how I get down. You know, man.
Hey, so Dan, would it be someone that's being sincere in what they're doing?
Absolutely.
And not to be seen.
Not to be seen of men. Like the Messiah, when they asked him, are you that one? He said, go tell John I raised the dead. I healed the sick. Lepers are cleansed. That's what he was talking about before he took anything on himself, that you start looking at him and saying anything. He like, all this power will come from the Father. Go tell him that and let him make his decision if he think I'm the Messiah or not. Because ain't nobody else around here. The Pharisees showed one do it. Because we got records of the woman that had been bleeding for 12 years. All her money on the physicians. Gave all of them Sadducees and Pharisees paper. And ain't none of them still giving her a 12-step program. Now I hear there's super absorbent rags, and they may work for you, but it's going to cost you a few shekels. Soon as she touched the hem of his garment, a lightning bolt went through there, and she was dried up immediately. Not in 2-3 days, and the Messiah felt it. He like, a virtue gone out of me. Charity is gone out of me. Pure. And he turned around and he said, who touched me? And the disciples looking at everybody out here like a championship fight. You know, when the boxers come through and everybody touching on them. He like, how we know who touched you? Everybody like, I know who touched me. And when he turned, she was standing right there like this. He said, how you feel, daughter? She say, whole. New again. Because y'all know they have to be torment to be looked at as unclean every day. Yeah. Every day they know your status. You have to sit over here in the same chair all the time. Wherever you go, that chair is roped off for you. Yeah. That's reproach. Go ahead, man.
Even with somebody, they exchange the word charity with love. Complete. Like, I don't know which Bible that is. They just flat out say love. So everybody read charity, when the man read charity, it's love.
Well, it's still interchangeable if they change it, because what does they say in 1 John about what love is? Did that change in that Bible?
No, they say, okay.
See, so if that didn't change, as love is the keeping of the commandments, then changing it with charity, because that's what charity is doing. It's according, love is charity. That's what it is. But it has to be according to the record, or you're going to make it what you want it to make, and then you're going to be looking for rewards for doing charity. Once you give it, it's gone. You can't give to the poor and then dictate to him what he's supposed to do with it. Now don't go in there and buy no whiskey. Why you give it to him? He's an alcoholic. If you was more concerned about that, go in there and get what you was going to give it to him and bring him out. Bro, I know you've been drinking all day. You probably going to need to put something on your stomach. Here's a 2-piece and a biscuit. And you think he going to turn that down? He ain't going to turn it down. and you go on about your business, but you can't dictate your gifts because it's not charity at that point. It's not brotherly love, y'all. And we rocking Galatians 5:22, the fruits of the Spirit. Right. It's not only that, but it's an elevation. There's fruits that's produced when you have these gifts. These things are going to come along within your walk. It don't soften you up. Right. It makes you understand mercy because you're dealing with people and a society that the whole world has been teaching for 2,000 years that the law don't exist. Right. That's your battle. That's what you up against. Right. So you need to know the law to be able to deal with the people you dealing with charity. Right. You have to understand that. That's why it scripts over and over. We're going to move on and tell you, look, you can't even be a co-signer unless you sure you have the full amount over here to pay for it. You can't be a godparent. None of these things. We use these things now like they just something to do. Oh, you know, he made me godfather. Well, do you understand the godfather, what that's really entailing? You're saying if anything happened to these parents, I take over everything you had planned for this child. All of that. That's my responsibility now. The Messiah made John, his disciple, a God's son to his mother. When she was weeping and seeing him up on that cross, he said, Mama, don't weep. John, behold thy mother. Mother, behold thy son. Don't worry about it. I know this boy's spirit. He gonna take care of you. Don't even worry about it. So he was a God's son. Truly, and took care of the Messiah's mama. Because at that point, Joseph wasn't nowhere around, so we know he probably had passed on. But y'all, this is what we're talking about. Don't give usury. Don't understand these things because you can't get mad when something go wrong. It's like giving out your car and you know the alternator bad, but it break down on them. It's still something about that. You're like, damn, I wish it had broke down on me. Because now you're thinking maybe he was driving it too fast. I had everything on. Had the air conditioner on, the radio on, all this when he's starting the car. That probably wore it out. Damn. And then they thinking, why did I take it? So it's a ball of confusion, y'all. When you let it go, let it go. Go ahead, man. Where you at?
Verse 3. And though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burned, and have not charity, it profiteth me nothing.
It does what?
Profiteth me nothing.
So y'all see, you ain't getting no gain if you doing it for flow showing.
Hey, Dan.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Big on this charity, y'all. It's G26, the same as love.
Oh.
It's a gape.
It's a what?
A gape.
Or some of them try to call it agape love. You hear it in the church. But it don't work for them because they teach the law is done away with. So you can't have agape love. Go ahead, bro. Read it.
It says affection, goodwill, love, benevolence, brotherly love, strong, love, affection, especially love, a feast, charity, dear, love.
So, y'all, we heard to both go hand in hand.
Yeah, goodwill.
Goodwill, y'all, fruits of the spirit. That's sincere when you do something. If somebody you ain't got, you tell them, look, you need this much, I can give you a third of that. But I got this over here I got to do. Is that help for you? Yeah, that'll work. You think they're going to turn it down? It's only, and it's not training yourself to say no. It's training yourself not to be angry at your brother.
Right.
Nigga, it's Thursday and you ain't been here at 6 o'clock. Pick up that phone. I ain't going to call you back again.
Right. Because charity can also be taken away.
And what if they die?
If I know you on heroin and I come around, the love would be for me to what? Remove that from your life, right?
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So love and charity can also be taken from something. It's all about the goodwill of your brother.
That's right.
Goodwill to the Lord.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead. Finish your thought, bro. Hold on. Go ahead. Finish your thought. Okay. Yeah.
Verse 4. 1 Corinthians 13 and 4. Charity suffereth long.
What it do?
Suffereth long.
Y'all, and this the problem that's happening for us because we're in a microwave generation. All of us guilty of it. We not ready for the long haul, the long suffering. This don't mean you got to be pounded on or beat up. It just mean once you get, or you working this thing, your life is getting better, the people around you getting better, and you still look over here and there's 10,000 more waiting on to be in the crowd you in. And we got some more work to do. We got to get all them. So you can't never get to the point where you say, I done enough now. Somebody else gonna have to get them over there. You got to keep going. You got to keep going. That's the long suffering of it. And knowing that if I do all of this, I may not see the kingdom with these physical eyes in this body. I may have to be resurrected to see it. But I'm cool with that. Right. I keep doing it. Next! Like at the steakhouse. Next! And keep it going. Go ahead, bro.
Charity suffereth long and is kind. Charity envieth not.
What charity do?
Envieth not.
See, no envy. I'm not worried about what you got. I'm not contributing to this, and we're going to get to some Acts 8th chapter that's going to make us truly understand the envying part of the spirit. Go ahead, bro.
Charity vaunteth not itself.
What it does?
Vaunteth not itself.
It ain't exalting itself. You gonna walk around like you got the spirit, y'all, and this is why the Pentecostal doctrine is so dangerous. Because once they get the spirit, they have the high chin. They sit up front. You know, she spoke in tongues last week. You know, he spoke in tongues last week. They sitting on the front row. That's what the preacher offer them. You get front row seats now. You spoke in tongues. Ain't no interpreter around. Nobody don't know what that chat was. Jesus, 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 Jesus. That's it right there. That's it. You get to sit up here. That's vaunting itself that you're looking at them like there's something special. That's only because you don't know the rules of tongues. You don't know it have to be an interpreter there. Or are they supposed to keep silent? If they don't keep silence, what is that called? Disobedience. You got to hold your mouth, Lord. That's when you should be tipping out fast. Ain't no interpreter in there.
Boy.
Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, because if it's said out loud in the church, it's said for the body.
That's right.
You feel me? Like, if that's what you're doing, you're supposed to be at home to yourself. But if it's said out loud, then that means everybody needs to understand it. How you know he ain't saying Allah Akbar in Arabic?
Right.
God is great, and he got a dynamite vest on, and everybody get up out of here.
Oh.
How you know he ain't saying that?
Right. Right.
So when Daniel's talking about the instructions to tongues, the book of tongues, that's 1 Corinthians 14. That's the next chapter over. For anybody that, like, if what he's saying sounds off the top or crazy, he ain't just talking off the top of his head. That's the very next chapter over. The entire chapter goes into the rules. If someone was to speak in an unknown tongue, someone has to interpret to the crowd what he's saying. You understand? I can say Bereshit bara Elohim et ha-shemayim wa et ha-aretz. There's only a few know what I just said.
What did it say, John?
What I just say, Hebrew?
I ain't got a clue
Hold
either.
on. What I just say, Hebrew?
In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth.
That's Genesis 1 and 1.
Y'all see that?
See, now
That's
if I just
tongue
said that,
and
then
interpretation of tongue.
so if I just said that, nobody here know what I just said. What understanding was that? There ain't nothing to get asked. So what's the purpose of me doing that but to show them? Like, yeah, you know,
Right.
I know me.
He know Hebrew.
No.
Man, he know Hebrew.
No.
The problem is you don't.
Yeah, the problem is you don't know it, so why would I speak it?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that's what all the brother is saying. If that sounded like over someone's head, we can give a real life example.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's all about understanding. With all you're getting, you're supposed to get understanding. If you up in any spot, some Muslim mosque, a Christian church, or a Hebrew assembly, and you don't know what's being said, then what is your purpose there for? What are you there for?
Right.
If you ain't there to get understanding or instruction so you know how to move, you know, when God commands you to move, what are you there for? It just feels good to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
You feel me? So that's what the brother is saying, if that went over anybody's head. Like, what is he saying? Hold on, is he joning on folks?
Right.
In the church, like, Jesus. But it ain't no interpreter, so they the ones that's out of order.
Right.
So we feel like a little mockery at times, then, you know, take it at face value. It's just what it is. But we ain't the ones that's out of order. They out of order if they speaking something, don't nobody know up in there what they saying.
Right. And not only that, they say when you do that, you are saved. You're guaranteed the kingdom, which has got to be a kingdom of disobedience because they just labeled you saved off of disobedience. So where you go? Where you saved for? No, you can miss me with that one. I'll pass on that one. Y'all, and we're going to move on. Ozell, Israel, the oldest Hebrew in St. Louis. Y'all done seen him around. You know, he was a deacon in the church, and they had to get him, and he was just trying to get it. He said, man, it just wasn't working. So I remember when I was in Vietnam, and I just said, Ichi Ba Wahawa, and preached the that's it. But when he was overseas fighting in Vietnam, that meant your mother don't have hair in her secret place. And he said, that's it. Right. So y'all, they'll agree to anything if it's that point, because what they're trying to do is they're trying to lay hands on, they're trying to look like some great one. Y'all, and when somebody's doing that, when you allow them to do it, it's because we don't know the rules. And in there they say, oh, the laws are done away with. We don't have to keep those anymore. Then that goes for everything in there. How you gonna have tongues with no rules or regulations? And this is what this charity is saying. If you ain't doing it by the rules, you wasting your time. Go ahead, bro. You got some more of that? Or you good on that?
Go down.
Or just to the last one. Where you at, verse what?
I'm in verse 4 now. Not 5.
Yeah.
Go, yeah, at 8. 8 is good.
Verse 5, 1 Corinthians 13 and 5. Doth not behave itself unseemly. Seeketh not her own. Is not easily provoked.
It's not what?
Easily provoked.
Right.
Thinketh no evil.
Thinketh what?
No evil.
Y'all, and when we talk about evil is putting out anything, y'all, and when we look at evil, y'all, we think about the scary movies that we see. But when we look up the Hebrew word evil, it's problems. It means depression, anxiety, problems. That's what evil does, because that's what you get when you break the law. When you look up the Hebrew word of evil, it says, and doomed, and bad times in your life. Misery is part of what's happening in evil. When you break the law, these things come on you, like Deuteronomy 28, the first 15 verses say, if you do these commandments, you shall have ease, E-A-S-E. But 16 through 68 say these are the problems going to happen to you if you don't do it. And then a D-I-S is put in front of E-A-S-E, which means what? Disease. Because disobedience brings upon dis-ease. It's not one you can label, it's dis-ease, discomfort. When you got a disease, you discomfort. You know sick people, they're uncomfortable. There's no good spot to lay in. It's only temporary. Call a nurse. It brings disease or dis-ease to your body. Keep the commandments. You'll be doing a Toyota kick at 80. Go ahead, where we at?
Verse 6. Rejoiceth not in iniquity.
What it does?
Rejoiceth not in iniquity, but rejoiceth in the truth. Beareth all things. Believeth all things.
What it does?
Believeth all things.
See, so charity, believing from Genesis to Revelation, if you say this book is temporary, you don't believe all things. You believe half of the things that's written in here. That's a problem. Holy Spirit ain't coming your way. It says all things you got to believe. If it's written and it's backed up, show where it's changed in the law. Everybody show a piece here or there. If Exodus 20 and these laws, statutes, and judgment is moved out of their place up here, if somebody doing different from there, then there's a problem with these scriptures. Because now your guidance, what you have to govern by, what you have to teach somebody and have fair judgment by, is tainted. If that happened, y'all, we can close the book up. We in the kingdom home free. If they find tampering in here, we can do this and wait on the kingdom. Ain't no judgment. How the Most High gonna judge us on the law? Now see that now. You watch Bait Car, don't you? When they put them keys in there, you know that wasn't your car running, did you? So like, man, if they no, it ain't gonna be none of that foolishness with the Most High. He gonna show you the intents of your heart. This is when the word came to you and you say, I don't have time for that. Swipe left or right or however you do it. I need to look at something else. I don't have time right now. That's what the Most High is going to judge. When you had the opportunity and you decided to do something else. Go ahead, man.
Hopeth all things.
What it does?
Hopeth all things. Endureth all things.
Endure all things. That's what true charity is, y'all. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 8. Charity never faileth.
Charity never does what?
Never faileth. But whether there be prophecies, they shall fail. Whether there be tongues, they shall cease. Whether there be knowledge, it shall vanish away.
Right.
For we know in part, and we prophesy in part.
So, y'all, we get a clear understanding, y'all, that if you're doing this to be the big muckety-muck, it's problems. We got people out here that teach tongues, but they do it to be upbraided. How you don't know the man next to you don't know what you're talking about? Bruh does Hebrew classes online. Y'all can see the Hebrew primers out there teaching everybody. If you want to know tongues, here it is. It's going to put you on the same level everybody's on. If you are astute to it, if you focus on it, if you diligent with it, all of us will be in the same point. That may not be for everybody though. It don't have to be. You could be the interpreter man. Like he was. We'll go to this what that means. But you're going to have to understand that clearly. You can't just go to a dictionary and say this. He understood that without even flinching or batting an eye. Yo, that's where it's repetitious. It's part of you now. So that gift is part of me now. So now, let me go after this one over here. Seek the best gifts that you may covet the best gifts. So understand when the Big Ten say thou shalt not covet, it says thy neighbor's stuff. But you can covet the best gifts like we just read. You can want and desire that. But it has to be for charity. I'm doing this because our body needs to be strengthened. We ain't doing this about nothing else, me, because everybody gonna be dependent on me like everybody depend on the pastor. I don't know about that Romans now. Pastor say. Ain't pastor reading Romans, or it's a book in there called Pastor.
You know it ain't no ill game when you bring the whole camp with you.
That's
what
right.
I'm saying, when it ain't a secret, you know you ain't trying to be looked at like you on a pedestal, because I'm willing to teach everybody the same thing. You know what I'm saying? That's charity.
That's right.
All right, that's it for this, Dad.
Let's get right to the heart of, because we had to pick this up on the strong delusion side. Let's get right to some, right here, want some 2 Corinthians 11:14, and we're going to back that up with a little Jasher 23 and 25. Because it's a lot of things that Satan does. See, y'all, Satan wasn't cast down to look like a devil with horns on his head and red. He's cast down to look and transform just like he look on the show Lucifer. Y'all ever see everyone that they play Lucifer is in a nice 3-piece pinstripe suit. It's only the time that he come to you as the devil is when you done sin, then he show you his B side. But you through at that point. That's when he showed himself to Judas Iscariot. At that point when the Messiah said it had been better for you to have hung a millstone around your neck than to pull it's been better that you had not been born than what you just did, the treachery you just pulled. And he had the Holy Spirit. And the Messiah gave him a chance at the Passover. One of y'all here gonna trip out crazy, and you're dipping your sop in here in this cup, this holy covenant. That was the hour. He did that knowing that he was finna sell him out. He dipped that bread in there and ate it and passed that cup and knew what was in the back of his mind. Knew what it was. So at that point, he blasphemed the Holy Spirit. And that's why he told him it had been better that you had not been born.
That's right.
What is that saying? Is that the greater damnation?
Yes.
That's what he said. If you mess with a child, you take a child in this innocent, you turn a child to the ways of wickedness. He says it's been better that you tied a millstone around your neck, and them usually 500 to 2,000 pounds, and jump off in the ocean. Who coming up? Where we at, bro? You had a question, Joe? Okay, all right, bro. Where we at? 2 Corinthians 11.
We starting at Hebrew.
14. We're just gonna hit a quick hit, and then we're gonna go to this Jasher, y'all. And because the book of Jasher is mentioned, and right here you'll see it, 2 Samuel 1:18, 2 Timothy 3:8, and Joshua 10:13 tells us to study out of the book of Jasher. You got camps in New York. We don't use that book. That ain't our problem. You on a mission of taking away. So what do we do about it? Well, how we know that's the real book of Jasper? Well, for one, you pronouncing it wrong, so maybe that's the problem. You ain't found a book. Yeah, you found Jasper or Casper. You in a whole nother doctrine. But they don't want you to get in here because it'll deter everything they teach. So they take away from the word. They take understanding away. Go ahead, Mal. Was you saying something? Okay, who got? Go ahead, bro.
Where do you see that? What do you Jazz at?
Jasher is right. 2 Samuel 1:18, Joshua 10:13, and 2 Tim 3:8. So we got more than 2 witnesses saying that this book is good. And this Bible says the book of Edo is not the rest of the writings about the prophet Nathan or David in the book of Nathan. Y'all, those books are still out there. They're not lost from us permanently. Losses mean they just taken away and they just need to be found again. And where you can find them, they'll be sitting right on a shelf. I found it. That's why they have called lost and what? Oh. Lost don't mean it's gone forever. It's just the 66 will get it done. Everything that's written in here, we compare to here. It's still in here, but this go into day-to-day detail. This is summary. The 66 books are hundreds of years. May leap 500 years, may go 1,000. This gets down to the nitty-gritty. These other books, that's why I say study out of them books. It wants you to get deep into the other understandings like this. You're like, oh, that's why the Lord loved Abraham like that. Abraham been taught the law since he was 3 years old, according to this. I just been picking it up at 89. Go ahead, brother.
Anybody got a car with Mississippi plates on it outside?
The what?
You know the color of the nerve? White car. White car.
With Mississippi plates? Who got a white car with Mississippi plates? Huh? It ain't us. Okay. Go ahead, brother. 2 Corinthians.
Reading from the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 11, verse 14.
What it say? 13. We can go 13.
Verse 13. Get that back. For such are false apostles.
A false what?
Apostles.
See, we got false apostles. Huh? False apostles. Go ahead, bro.
Man, let me back that up to 9.
You want to back that up? Back it up,
back it up to 9.
Okay.
And when I was present with you and wanted, I was chargeable to no man.
What did he say he was?
Chargeable to no man.
Meaning that a king, a governor, nobody was he charged to the perspective that they can bribe him out of what his mission was. He wasn't chargeable to no man, but the Father and the Son. Go ahead, bro.
For that which was lacking to me, the brethren which came from Macedonia supplied. And in all things I have kept myself from being burdensome unto you. And so will I keep myself.
So he's saying, look, the brother supported me. And y'all, you'll continue to see this word support, or I wasn't a burden or supply. See, you don't want to be a burden to somebody. Damn, here this nigga come again. Get my wallet over there, you know. Look up there, see if we got some bread up there. Here he come. Charity shouldn't be a burden like that. You know, and nobody should feel that way about it. You know, if they come and that's when he say, Lord, when did we see you naked and we fed? He like, when you done it to the least of them, you done it to me. So y'all, we want to be extra careful that we entertain strangers because it could be an angel on the word. Now you looking for Casper the ghost and the angel look just like us, like we sitting in this room. An angel could be sitting in here now, y'all. We can't tell the difference. The only difference is they skin don't corrupt. You ain't gonna see no stitches mark on an angel right here, where somebody hit him with a sledgehammer and a doctor sewed it up. If you see somebody and they calling they an angel, it's an imposter. They skin don't do that.
Yeah, like Michael the Archangel
Yeah.
down there, limping with a bad
Yeah. Some dude came down and said he was Michael the Archangel. What he doing? Limping,
limping, had bad hip.
had bad hip,
Polo was snatched by his woman.
Yeah.
White beater showing.
shirt wrinkled.
Great teeth.
Yeah, just
Said he was Michael the Archangel.
glitter on and Mardi Gras beads and
Said y'all won't quit hating on me now.
right.
This dude tough. My name Michael. Like, that's good,
Right.
Michael.
Right.
No, Michael the Archangel.
No,
Now, what is you doing hollering at me for?
Right, we
You
see-
supposed to be
right.
gathering the Lord's people. What are you doing?
That's false apostle. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 10.
Yeah. Who got a question? Go ahead, John.
An angel will look like one of us. He won't be
Just like
a
us.
stranger, you know, like a heathen or a Gentile. He'll look like
No.
us.
No,
Just-
like
he-
you look at the book of Tobit.
Yeah.
That was Raphael the Archangel with him the whole time. He told me, and his father asked him his name. He's like, my name is Azariah from tribe so. They ain't even know. They ain't know they got back from the trip. And he was like, look, I'm Raphael. I'll be in the presence of the Lord all the time. You know what I mean? He
Yeah.
told me keep the commandments the rest of your life you live, and you'll do well. And then they looked up and he vanished.
Yeah. That quick gone.
Yeah. Third book of Enoch. But he gave his lineage as if he was an Israelite.
Yeah.
You feel me? He was like, yeah, I'm from the tribe. And his father wanted to know who he was before he sent his son with him. And he was like, I'm Azariah, the tribe of this.
Yeah.
My father's this. Oh, okay, yeah, I know your father now.
Right.
You know, like, all right, that's what's up. And he guided his son all the way to get his wife. His son was also there to get some money that he had left.
That's right.
And then by the time he got back, he was like, man, hey, I can call that man in here, man. I want to thank him. And he straight told him what it was. It was like, look, I'm Raphael the Archangel. I'm the one that's been here the whole time.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I go in and out the presence of the Lord. So that's the book of Tobit.
Yeah.
Excellent story. The
Yeah.
stranger that went with him, be careful to entertain strangers. That was a
Entertain
stranger.
Yeah.
Meaning he didn't know him until he got to revealing himself. And he didn't know, oh, that's my partner at the tire shop.
Right.
He just somebody that was like, I'll go with you. He's like, well, hold on before you go. Who is your father and what house you come out of? Ran down the Israelite household. Oh, okay, yeah, I know your father's in them. Well, look, guide my son on over here. Tell me what your wages are. I got you.
That's right. Now think about this too. An angel can manifest as a Gentile. Reason being because it was open up to them. It's not who he's manifesting into, it's what message you're hearing from. Because if any angel come to us and preach not this gospel, so if he transformed to a Gentile and tell them, no, I'm in the image of Jesus, that's a false apostle. That's a false, because angels were created before Adam. So way before the tribe of Israel come into play. So you can't focus on that all angels have to look like Israel. Angels were created way before that. So their transformation fits every generation that they're in. If they come at that, that's why I use the word stranger and not strange. Stranger is anybody that's outside or foreign to the body or house of Israel. Angelic beings are foreign to us. They don't hang around us every day. We are terrestrial. They are celestial. They're strangers to us, but we keep the same embodiment of laws, a government. They just in a different realm. They're in a supernatural realm. We're in a natural realm trying to get to just preternatural. And that's with the Holy Spirit, and that just takes us outside of the normal. You understand what I mean? You got natural, preternatural, and then supernatural. If you die before the Messiah come back, you'll be resurrected supernaturally, either to eternal damnation or to life evermore. But you're going to be supernatural. And I tell me, and if you don't die before the Messiah get back, this flesh going to change right before your eyes. It's going to be the same flesh. It's just going to be supernatural. You can cut yourself and it'll heal right back up. Because we still have to have Israel reproduce children in the kingdom of God. That have to happen. That's why I say there's no marriage for the resurrection of the dead. They'll be brothers and sisters. But the living that remain through tribulation and the second coming will reproduce children. That still has to be fulfilled. That was never fulfilled in the garden. Adam and them sinned the first go round. Every child out of that was born with the flesh to go see Austin Lane. And that's the funeral home here, the biggest one. After that, everybody went the way of death. Every soul that hit this went the way of death and corruption, except the Messiah. His flesh never saw corruption. He never went into rigor mortis. You will though. After 72 hours, you locked. Until they break you back down and put them hands right here. Maybe a finger or two like this, where you land like that. But you gone. Not the Messiah though. Because he wasn't born with that. Those 23 chromosomes of his that came from his father was supernatural in flesh. It couldn't corrupt. That's what set him apart. He was a born miracle. Not like these other camps try to make him like he was born like me or you. Then how is he gonna forgive sins and he a sinner? He didn't allow sinners to forgive sinners. When Moses made the cross, that Nehushtan in Numbers 28, that first cross that we see, it was for our sinning. Look at that. And then it said the Messiah will be, John 3:13, same way, will be held up on a cross the same exact way. But that cross was starting to be worshiped in 2 Kings 18. King Hezekiah had to destroy it, and he always make them eat it. Just like the Molech was destroyed at the Mount Sinai, and they had to eat that. When Moses went up, they started worshiping Molech, grounded the powder and eat it. Eat your sin. That's what sacrifices was. You didn't just throw that meat away. That meat wasn't just thrown away. You didn't slay 1,000 oxen and no. This was sin sacrifice, and then you enjoy that offering. This is for my body. When the disciples up there, take ye and eat, so you can live.
Yeah.
Let's get some more. Where we at? Oh, L9 got something?
Yeah, he didn't eat the whole time with him. Didn't eat, didn't drink, none of that. He told him that in the story, though. He said, you notice I didn't eat the whole time I was with you?
Never saw that though.
Yeah.
See, we have eyes that see it not. But he kept him focused on his mission, not on who he was. He would have lost the mission if he'd have like, I'm with an angel. Because he wouldn't have took no stuff. It'd have been like a big brother. You like that? What you say? But see, the Messiah was the same way when Pilate said, don't you know I have power to let go? He's like, partner, you ain't got no power. I can do this. And 10,000 legion of angels will come in here and take Rome now. But it's past that point. Do what you got to do, sir. You ain't got no power, though, except what my Father give you. So, y'all, we have to understand these things that when he's long-suffering, he's teaching long-suffering. Because you know the disciples said, put him down, put him down. Right. It's like you walk in a bar with Mike Tyson, Suge Knight, and Holyfield. And Pee Wee Herman spin around with glasses on and a pocket pouch and slap all three of them like the Three Stooges. And they take off running. What are you gonna do? I mean, hit the door. And he asks, you want some of this? You gone too. What we at, bro?
Right there.
Second with these, I guess, comedics or gyps or whatever they want to call themselves. They was saying that when Christ saying, take my body, this is my body, you know, this is the blood, they trying to say that he was
teaching cannibalism.
Yeah.
See, but you never heard him say he sliced himself once. Like the Baal priest did in that battle down at Mount Carmel. When they start cutting themselves and slashing themselves. Satan requires this. So you can prove to everybody that you're working with them. He say, mark yourself. When you join them fraternities, what they do? They put a brand new Messiah mark us in our heart. I ain't gonna let you walk around with a cross branded on you. Had a brother down here, didn't he? What he had tattooed on there?
He had
the name of the Father, and don't even know what he got tattooed. Look, now he got no regrets. Because he didn't know what he had tattooed on her. It spelled wrong. He don't even know, and you got it tatted on her? Like you trying to impress us? No, you got no regrets. No regrets been spelled wrong. Where we at, bro?
We're in the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 11.
Hey, Daryl, that's John 6 they talking about.
Yeah.
When he was talking about eating my flesh.
Yeah.
Drinking my blood. So they ain't say he promote cannibalism with that blood. Your Messiah promotes blood drinking and flesh eating. That's John 6. But look, all you gotta do is finish the story. He can tell you what I've been speaking the whole time is spiritual.
Yeah, they want to try to talk all fast and try to laugh. Hey, he's coming back. They keep saying the other day, he's coming back.
Yeah.
And now then they talking about, one of them saying like, they don't believe that man came before the woman. He like, that sound like some homosexuality, 2 be 2 men. I'm like, yeah, y'all man.
Yeah, but I mean, in the beginning, how was it created?
Right.
Like the chicken came first or the egg.
Right.
You feel me? Or anything.
Right.
With. Like he made, if you go back to the creation story, whatever he made with a seed in it. Then reproduction started.
Right.
So it ain't just like the man from the woman. Go back to the plants. Deal with the plants.
I was saying the earth, you know.
Yeah, deal with creation, like from the beginning.
You know, that was a seed, you know, coming up, you know, with the
Mother
Earth, you know.
Yeah.
But they don't want to hear it, so.
Well, right, and you know what they're trying to do. But the deal is, you were sharp enough to defend what you believe.
Right.
See, as if they'd have got you to doubt, and you've been like, I ain't never seen that before. It do sound like that. At that point, it's a major problem.
Right.
You just chasing the next best thing you heard about. I'm a Hebrew, and you're not following up on what you need to do, because now your battle is against all the other people worshiping other gods. Not to combat them, but to take them away from it and see, do you want life? That's the first thing you got to make. That charity you got to offer them. It's second, third ammunition. When they kick against the prick or cast your pearls before swine, you got to cut it off at that point. But you can't decide, no, I ain't going to go to them. Unless them is telling you, we'll kill you if you come over here.
The chicken.
Yeah.
I always thought like they left out the male chicken. Rooster.
Right.
What is the equation? That's all I always like, don't put the woman in the child, you never add the rooster.
Absolutely.
It's always one rooster in the hen house.
Right.
So, and that's what's called, that's the term of syncretism. Is where they try to make what you're teaching sound like it's blending of two doctrines, but it's actually what they're doing. Their doctrine actually is what's called Osiris, the mother and son doctrine only. You know, and that's what they're teaching. They're actually accusing you they're accusing you what they're teaching. They're saying that's what you doing, but you got to be sharp enough to turn them the other way, and that means you got to get in here and study. Y'all, we ain't gonna belabor this because we got a few scripts we want to hit. But go ahead, you finish that 2 Corinthians.
No, we ain't even down there.
Go ahead, let's get it.
The book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 11, verse 10.
What it say?
As the truth of Hamashiach is in me, no man shall stop me of this boasting in the regions of Achaia. Wherefore, because I love you not, Yah knoweth. But what I do, that I will do, that I may cut off occasion from them which desire occasion, that wherein they glory, they may be found even as we.
That's right.
For such are false apostles, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into the apostles of Hamashiach.
See, transforming themselves. Y'all, we see it all day. It's a lot of Hebrew camps out here, y'all. They transform the outer cup. It's the only way they can transform, because when you deny the Messiah, you can't transform from the inside. So you go to the outer cup. You go to Hobby Lobby and you get bands and studs, and you wear hip-waisted boots, and you put general stripes on her. That's transforming to a false apostle. You using the Messiah's name, but your old outer cup, well, y'all done read that in here, that's our dress. Yes, and then a big hexagram this big on her, on your chest. You full of the dark side, and you're saying we're preaching Christ. No, you ain't.
Hey, that one boy got a door knocker on his forehead.
A door knocker.
A door
I'm talking a literal we used to like on the monster. He got it on his hat. Just more and more things to try to make you think. We transform into angels of light. You're transformed into superheroes, wannabes. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 14.
Right.
And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light.
So it's saying if you see these things, don't even trip off of that because Satan come in that way. Satan can't come eternally to help you out. He comes at more than that. He comes as what you really lusting after and want. When you watch the show Lucifer, he look him right in the eye. Come on, tell me what it is you really want. He could be there with a pistol like this to really kill him. He just look him right in the eye. What do you really want? Well, I always wanted to be a Boy Scout leader. He get them to tell the intent of their heart because he's playing the father. And then when they snap out of it, what I just say? Oh, nothing, and he scurry on off. But he don't look like horns and pitchforks. He come unaware where you least expect it. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 15. Therefore, it is no great thing if his ministers also be transformed as ministers of righteousness.
As ministers of what?
Of righteousness.
Uh-huh.
Whose end shall be according to their works.
You can hold that. So, y'all, we're going to back this up with the book of Jasher as watching Satan come as an imitator. Look, y'all, when he fell, he was never knocked out of his angelic form. So he wasn't knocked to look like the boogeyman, because if he came here, you'll run off. You'll see him coming if he came like this every time. He's transforming himself into what you like, who you like, and he's going to agree with your unbalancing of win law.
Right.
He's going to go on the side that you tilt to my favor. Yeah, that nigga don't know what he talking about. I'm with you, dog. Tell him up front how you feel. That's what he want to do. That's what he get. If you watch that New Edition show, and some of y'all may not watch the scene where Bobby Brown wanted to get the water hole, Suge Knight right there pumping that. What we gonna do? What we gonna do? And he grabbed the water hole. This is how he in your ear. Let's create turmoil. Let's destroy everything around us, everything as little boys we've been working. Let's kill it right here tonight in front of the whole world. Watching. Y'all, that's what we got to be. This is how Satan come. And if we keep thinking it's going to be a white man, you sadly mistaken. Who was Judas Iscariot?
Straight up.
Who killed the prophets? Shalom, y'all.
Shalom, family.
Who killed the prophets?
We did.
So y'all, we got to be watching the deception that's coming. We keep looking over here and the deception is right here. Unless you learn brotherly love, the deception gonna always be over here. You're not focusing on the task at hand. Then look over there. Let's get some more. Where we at?
Where you want to go in that
Jasher? Let's get Jasher chapter 23. You got it up. Can you increase it? Hit that plus a little bit. Yo, this is out of the book of Jasher. We got up on the board this time, and y'all just read along with us. And what we're gonna do is see. It's going to get into more detail of when Abraham went to sacrifice Isaac. Now, before, when you read in Genesis, you'll see how his mother Sarah was giving him something to eat. And you know how a mother know her son going. She hugging him, don't want to let him go. You know, she scared this the last time she going to see him, y'all. So we always been mama's boys, so to speak. You know, it's, you know, boys that love their mama. But they ain't to the point that where mama just rule everything. He had to go. He had to tell her, she like, you be safe. So Satan plays on our mother love for the sons, their only son that came to her at 89, 90 years old. She had this only son and he was about to go off and she don't know Abraham is finna sacrifice him. Go ahead, what you got?
You sacrificed you like 37.
37 years old. See, everything they show you make it sound like he was a little boy. He was 37 years old. He was still called a lad or a young man because he had never had a wife yet. So he was still a laddie. But today, at 15, your laddiehood is gone. 13. Because them the only songs you singing. Get rid of your laddiehood. Get rid of it. Her mother's gone, her father's gone. Get rid of your laddiehood. Now you got all this responsibility and don't know what to do with. Where we at, bro?
Where you want to start at?
25th chapter, 25th verse. You up there? Can you? Okay. What? Can you see the verses at all? Let me see. Scroll it over to the right or left so we can see the verses down the bottom. Yeah, your laddiehood is gone. There it is, right there.
We're reading in the book of Jasher, chapter 23, verse 25.
Y'all look at the board if y'all don't have it. Y'all, these is on Amazon just like you order all the other stuff you like. Beauty supplies and mustache oil. These online. You have them shipped right to your door. Get your pretty boy look on with this. Yeah. Go ahead, bro. Yeah.
The book of Jasher, chapter 23, verse 25.
What'd it say?
And whilst Abraham was proceeding with his son Isaac along the road, Satan came and appeared to Abraham in the figure of a very aged man.
Right.
Humble and contrite and of contrite spirit.
So he tried to present himself just like Abraham. An old man, humble and contrite. That's what he was trying to mirror, that trick him off his game. I got to come like he is. See, notice he didn't come no different way. Go ahead, bro.
And he approached Abraham and said to him, Art thou silly or brutish, that thou goest to do this thing this day to thine only son? For Yah gave thee a son in thy latter days, and in thy old age. And wilt thou go and slaughter him this day because he committed no violence? And wilt thou cause the soul of thine only son to perish from the earth?
You see how he trying to run that game in his ear? To change, to take him from going and do this? He's trying to, that second mind doctrine, trying to get him off his game. He running the same thing Satan ran to the Messiah in Matthew 4th chapter. Oh, the scriptures say this. See, he'll sound like he concerned about his well-being. But his whole thing is, if you do that, if I get you to disobey this, then I know God is going to seal his deal with you, because you're ready to give back the son he gave you at 100 years old. Now, who would be latched on to a child like that? I mean, you've been hoping for a child your whole life, and then you get one. But Abraham wasn't going to do like we holler, take me, why you take me? You don't know where you're going, especially holler, take me.
But Dan, check it out. Is it the fact that they had a conversation prior that's not spoken, that he shared that with him?
With who?
With Abraham.
Oh, yeah, he told him. Yeah, he told him.
And come up to a man and start talking out the blue. Like, I know what you finna go do.
Yeah.
That's already one side.
Right, and if we go 2 chapters back to 21, you'll see what Ishmael and Isaac was having a discussion. Isaac was telling Ishmael bragging because he got circumcised first. Right. I'm Abraham's firstborn. He circumcised me. He like, partner, you gloating over a piece of flesh? If my father told me right now he'll sacrifice me for the Lord's sake, I will go willingly. That's in the 21st chapter, right at the end, if you go back a couple. So Satan heard that. See, he hears everything because he right around her. So he hear all our lusts and our cravings and our secrets, because we like to whisper. But he got ears like Doppler radar. Did you hear what he just said? Oh, so that's what he like. Get Master King. No, the one with the big rear end. That's what he said he liked. Yeah, send him over there right now. There you go. You think whispers ain't heard? Whispers are heard in your dreams. Go ahead, bro. Where we at?
We're in verse 27. Dost thou not know and understand that this thing cannot be from the Most High? For the Most High cannot do unto man such evil upon earth to say to him, go slaughter thy child. And Abraham heard this and knew that it was of the word of Satan.
Who he knew it was?
Was the word of Satan, who endeavored to draw him aside from the way of the Most High. But Abraham would not hearken to the voice of Satan. And Abraham rebuked him so that he went away.
What'd he do?
He rebuked him.
See how simple that was? Get out of here with that. It's as simple as that, y'all. But they got us so scared of demon movies that you dare not say that to a demon. You fear going in. You already shaking like a stripper before you even get there. You scared of a demon. That's what they looking for. The Messiah wasn't scared. He walked right up on the demon. Let him go right now. They come out of him. You here to torment us before the time?
Right.
He like, no, yeah, y'all know when the time. There's a herd of swine over there. Go jump in them and get away from around there. But turn this boy loose. And they did. Y'all, these are the power and miracles that people are trying to make us think is Hollywood or fiction. But ain't nobody else on this planet talked about doing miracles like that. They always got little small substitutes. Even if it's a miracle that you put an electronic device and a baby here for the first time, it's a miracle in a sense, but it brings a whole host of side effects gonna have to be watched while they're hearing through this. When the Messiah come, he just touch your ear and you hearing 3 counties over. You hear that dog barking, you're like, what dog? Ears is right now. Where we at, bro? Read some more.
Verse 29. And Satan returned and came to Isaac, and he appeared unto Isaac in the figure of a young man, comely and well favored.
You see how he come again? Just like you are. So y'all, you have to be careful. Look at yourself in the mirror, because that's who Satan coming after. That thing you don't like when you look in the mirror and you cuss yourself off for doing wrong thing, but it only lasts till you turn around and go back out the door. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 30. And he approached Isaac and said unto him, dost thou not know and understand that thy old silly father bringeth thee to the slaughter this day for naught?
He like, how stupid are you? Your daddy finna kill you. And you ain't got a clue. But he ain't got a clue of verse chapter 21. He knows about it, but he don't know Isaac know he heard or that he was around. Isaac don't care if you heard it. I said what I meant. If you heard that in chapter 21, I said what I meant. Let's read some more.
Now therefore, my son, do not listen nor attend to him, for he is a silly old man. And let not thy precious soul and beautiful figure be lost from the earth. And Isaac heard this and said unto Abraham, hast thou heard, my father, that which this man has spoken? Even thus has he spoken? And Abraham answered his son Isaac and said to him, take heed of him and do not listen to his words, nor attend to him. For he is Satan.
For who is he?
He is Satan.
Right.
Endeavoring to draw us aside this day from the commands of Yah.
See, that's the whole thing, to draw you from what?
The commands of Yah.
Which would be what? Disobedience. Right. Transgression of the law. That's his whole job, is to turn you from what you were ordered to do. He ain't here for nothing else. He ain't here to help you out, put your children through school. He here to make you break the commandments. That's his job. He ain't gonna never be favorable like this show trying to make him, that's coming back on very soon. That where you have sympathy for the devil. And like he doing a few good things. He's solving a few murders, but in the same breath, he's still Satan. He's still Satan. He's still talking that I'm a fallen angel. Go ahead, bro.
Hey, that's wild. So no matter how good he looking,
right?
You feel me? How good he smelling,
right?
Or how innocent he may look, or how soft he may be speaking. Right. If his message is deviate from what God commanded you, that's the devil. That's right. No matter how he looking, no matter what his skin look like, don't matter. If his message is get off the path of what the Lord commanded you, that's the devil whispering at you. It may be some of your loved ones. It may be your spouse, whoever. If it's to deviate off the path, that's the devil sniffing that person right
That's
there.
Who it is.
Period. That's the only way you can't fall off. You just focus on that. I gotta finish what God commanded me to do.
I got to finish.
Anybody come whispering, smelling good, looking like the woman of your dreams, fellas, whatever. But if it's like, look, get off that path. God really don't mean that. Loosen up a little bit.
Right, right.
Loosen up. You're too hard.
What they say, loosen up.
Loosen up a little taste.
Yeah.
You feel me? And you look up and then you deviate.
Yeah.
The story we read 1 Kings 13 a couple weeks ago. That was, I'm talking about monumental. That was major because he almost finished his course.
Yeah.
Yep.
He was done. All he had to do was finish until somebody else popped up and said, hey, I'm a prophet too.
Right, right.
God told me to tell you.
Right.
Now you can come on.
Right.
You feel me? He should have been like, nah, partner, I ain't get that memo.
Right.
Now I gotta
Keep
keep
it moving.
going.
That's
He
right.
said he let his guards down. And while he was sitting at the table, the false prophet, the Lord prophesied through the false prophet mouth. And said, boy, you're gonna die for that.
Yep.
You gonna
Lion is
die for
going to eat you because you deviated off course. He finished eating, he jumped on his little saddle, and you know, when they found him, they found his corpse eaten by lion. Because he deviated off path. So it don't matter how smooth they look, how good they smell. You feel me? Women, it could be the men of your dreams.
Yeah.
Huh? Looking like whatever man y'all lust after today. Fellas, it could be the woman of your dreams. Woman you lusting after.
Right.
If the core message is, oh, God really ain't mean that. Deviate a little bit, loosen up.
Right.
If that's the message, that's the devil talking to you.
That's right.
And look, Abraham wasn't in his feelings. He had enough spiritual understanding and faith to know, look, son, that's the devil. No matter who that is, that's the devil talking to us right there.
That's right. Under no circumstances, y'all, and you do it every day. If you're a single man and you see a woman and first thing you do, you're in a restaurant, she all in pork, shrimp, jeans cutting up between, but you like what you see. You done overlooked all of this work that I got to do right here. And here your game starting on this. Your game right there. And you done overlooked all this work right here. You did, because they're telling you up front. I eat pork, and what my auntie got me for Christmas, you ain't believe. You ain't focused on none of that. I'll deal with that later. I can get out of that later. No, you can't. No, you can't. You gonna be doing that. You gonna have Rudolph nose on and reindeer ears and hoping your brothers don't see you looking out the window. Amazon, yeah, that's what I mean.
Hebrews to put you on Facebook.
Right, what you got, bro?
So, the devil's spirit, right? Can jump into any one of us at any time if we don't stay early. I mean, it's all time coming in, but that means I gotta stay early. Me, individual, I need to stay early.
You have to. Because look, it's certain individuals that Satan dealt with personally. He dealt with Judas Iscariot personally. He told the demons, no, I got him. I got him. The Messiah had to pray for Peter because he said, Satan has sought to sift you like wheat. He got in a couple other people, and who Satan gonna relinquish all his power to is the Antichrist, who's his son. Because he's mimicking the Father. He said, I'm going to turn everything over. I'm going to turn all of the wickedness I use to bring the angels down, a third of them. I'm going to give that to the Antichrist. I'm going to give all that power to him. He going to work wonders. He going to make you think he God on earth because he's coming just like the scripture. You ain't going to know who the Antichrist is, the way things are going and set up and what he's going to be doing until he claim who he is, and you look in the sky and see the sun and the moon, or the moon, whether he come at night or in the morning. If you see it up there and them ordinances are still lightning in their course, he's an imposter. If he make another demon look like your grandmother coming back and you favored her forever, that ain't your grandma.
So no one knows you ain't enough?
Huh?
So no one knows you don't guarantee salvation?
Nothing. It brings more drama on you. It brings more drama on you because you know. So now you got a mission. Beforehand, you ain't got no mission. You just collateral damage. He just using you as money for the retail stores. You got a mark from Satan. You on the hit list. Let's read some more, y'all, because we got to get caught up. Ain't got enough about 45 minutes. Go ahead.
We're in verse 34.
What it say? No, I want you to go ahead and jump down. We finished that. We see the course that Abraham told Isaac. Don't listen to that. Let's get down to verse 79 because it matches up with Genesis, y'all, where Sarah died under the same distress of her only boy was dead. And y'all, mothers could understand this. This my only child. This my only son died this way. And especially under the condition that she had him at. 90 years old? Let's read some more. 79th verse.
We're in verse 79.
Hold on, let me see. What did I say first? 70, I want to get right where Satan came. No.
71 and 72.
76 what I want. Verse 76, y'all pull it up on there, 76. Y'all, now he's at Sarah. He tried it with Abraham and Isaac and couldn't move them. So he came to the woman now. That same thing he did in the garden. He couldn't move Abraham, he couldn't move Adam. So next he go to the woman. That's his pattern, y'all. That's how he go. That's why the household have to be solid. If you ain't teaching nothing in your household, but you listen to me, get in there and cook something, shut the hell up. Satan gonna have mastery over you. What I tell you? Cook what I ask. And you know the only thing is gonna be, you're gonna have to put the whoopee fingers on it. That's the only way you're gonna get him, and threaten to cut his throat, which gonna have you what? In the penitentiary for the rest of your life. Where we at?
We're at verse 76.
What it say? What's up, babe?
Voice be heard.
Right. Speaking in them baby tongues. Huh? Mama know what she said. You see, it's quiet now, don't you? She said, "Give me my pop," and she gave it to her. She heard what she was saying. Well, a couple more.
Or even that when Satan turned into a brook when Abraham was on the
and not
brook.
only that, he does what's called mirages too.
Yeah.
When you think you see something, it's just a mirage. Look, hope is evidence of things seen and unseen. Y'all, when you shake your head, you thought you saw something, you did. It's like crazy people. When you unlock that pineal gland, and most people unlock it with drugs. Right now, they're unlocking it with us with Flocka, which is so dangerous. It's the $5 death high. Everybody that's on it running naked with supernatural strength. Running into traffic, turning over cars, battling with 20 police. Or you're gonna invent something super wicked like Albert Einstein and the inventor of these phones, all of them took LSD. All of the Apple people, all of the Microsoft people, all of them tell you we hit a tab of acid. It took them into another realm. And they looking around and they seeing everything. And then they come back, when they shake out of it, they put it together. The only one that even thought about helping with a supernatural vision from their lineage was Tesla. He was gonna do wireless, he had wireless lighting back in the 20s. Or whenever he was around, that he wanted to light up everybody for free off of the energy of the, they told him, oh, hell no. Is you crazy? We got to charge them for this. It ain't the kingdom yet. We need to make them tributary. What you got that just go, what we can threaten to cut it off, put them in the dark. What you got for that? He said, I ain't got nothing for that. They took his patent, took everything from him. Edison and Westinghouse and General Electric took his ideas, and that's who charging us now. They didn't want it to just enlighten. They got a golf ball size of energy like this. They say it'll light 2 billion homes for a month. This much energy, but they're not gonna release it. But you're gonna know when we move to it, when gas is back to it was when I started driving, 45 cents a gallon.
Long time.
Yeah. Huh? Tesla. Was it
Nikola Tesla.
Yeah. They got a car called Tesla. It's a super expensive car now. Out here, electric car that they charging, what, 200,000-300,000 for? Who gonna afford it? But drive by itself, yeah. Yeah, yes sir. Go
I
ahead.
was so mental to go and see a movie about Tesla that Hugh Jackman was in, and Tesla showed him how to move a person from one place to the next.
Yeah.
Without being, so he was remaking a person. Oh no, that's how he was But Tesla was a real person.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. But he wanted to do right by, and they told him, no, you can't do right in this kingdom. No, we need to control people. You can't control, and this is what happens in Sunday doctrine. If we tell you that you can give tithes on your own, we're gonna lose y'all. So they threaten you. Will a man rob God? Ain't that in the Old Testament that you told me was done away with? And you scaring me with it? But because you don't know the difference between Old and New Testament, you scared. I don't want to rob God. Give me my purse over there. Mama, with this envelope that say our rent money, the last of it, so we don't get put out, give them that envelope. Yeah, baby, God will bless us. That's what the pastor say. And then you sitting on the front, sitting on a suitcase, waiting for somebody to pull up in a truck. And when you take the first load to wherever you got it, the vultures is waiting. And when you come back, the rest of your stuff is like pickings. And the neighbor ain't seen nothing. You didn't see who got my wash and dry? No, dog. No, dog, ain't seen nothing. Man, they must have got it when I was talking to my cousin Earl. Earl, did you see anything? No, dog. And you like you black mother. Go ahead, where we at, bro? You got 76? Oh, sorry.
Because tithing is once a year or every other year.
Upon your increase.
Right, annually.
That's the key, upon your increase. But a lot of Israelites was trying to get out of having an increase. That's why he put a 3-year mark on it. If you got Earl's Chicken Shack and oil change, after 3 years, if it ain't making no profit for you to give, you got to come up with something else. You can't keep getting a tax refund or bail out because you ain't producing nothing. So if you make shoes, you got to make the shoes that where you gonna give a percentage, but it has to be upon your increase. If you have no increase, you can't give because it's gonna tear your house up. Yo, we can't live down here. Ain't no beds or cots down here, ain't no private rooms, and we ain't showing it to nobody. We pay amount, and when we done, we up. Until we get our own, and when we get our own, it's gonna be the same thing. You can't live in there. You got to be where you're at. That has to be taken care of first. Everything has to be taken care of first. So this is not begrudging to you. That where you got like, man, light bill, the pastor talking noise. My car note 2 months behind and the pastor talking noise. Here, pastor. Now you go home, who you gonna be mad at but God? That's why I don't read that Bible no more, cause that pastor took all my money. It wasn't the Bible that did that. The Bible told you be not deceived. It ain't the Bible fault. Go tell who it is. Go stand at his door and tell him what he did. You get down to that verse yet? 76, y'all. Scroll over a little bit so they can see that number.
When the book of Jasher, chapter 23, verse 76.
What it say?
And Satan went to Sarah.
Who he go to?
To Sarah. And he appeared to her in the figure of an old man, very humble and meek.
See, he went to her like Abraham, who she called Lord. Y'all see how our adversary come at us? He ain't gonna come at you where you got to see you holy. You ain't gonna give him, you know, you ain't gonna put the brakes on him. No, he coming up just where you let him in. Go ahead, bro.
And Abraham was yet engaged in the burnt offering before the Most High. And he said unto her, dost thou not know all the work that Abraham has made with thine only son this day?
See, he's letting her know. Read the rest of that. I'll expound on that after you read that verse.
For he took Isaac and built an altar and killed him and brought him up as a sacrifice upon the altar. And Isaac cried and wept before his father, but he looked not at him, neither did he have compassion over him.
So you see what he telling her? And that husband you love killed your boy. Didn't even think once, just put the knife to his throat and cut that boy gozer out. You telling this to the mother of her only child at 90 years old? You see what he doing? He'll do it to women in their sleep. Come the same way. You know he cheating on you, don't you? And you get woke up in the middle of the night. What the hell, what? You cheating on me? Go, woman, take yourself back to sleep. I am. I'm going back to get that address and I'm gonna wake you back up. I'm like, you got to be crazy. Now you in my dreams. No, he in her dreams. Go ahead, bro. Where we at?
Verse 78. And Satan repeated these words, and he went away from her. And Sarah heard all the words of Satan. And she imagined him to be an old man from amongst the sons of men who had been with her son, and had come and told her these things.
Now, what's the difference between Abraham and Isaac and how Sarah responded?
She fed into it.
She fed into it. Not once did she say, get out of here. Get away from her. He got on that emotional side. He knew what he was doing. Pulled her into the trap. Your boy did. Not once did she say, you know what, the Lord gave me that boy at 89, 90 years old. I know I wasn't going to have no children. If Abraham is doing that, then it is what it is, devil. Get out of here. And he'd have left, but he got on that side. Because when you read earlier, you'll see how she didn't want to let him go. She giving him everything. And take this with you. Hold on, baby. You may get cold out there. Take this with you. Now call me when you get there. Don't make sure you call me when you get there. And I was like, hold on, mama. We going to do work of the Lord. Read some more, bro.
Verse 79.
What it say?
And Sarah lifted up her voice and wept and cried out bitterly on account of her son. And she threw herself upon the ground, and she cast dust upon her head. And she said, O my son, Isaac, my son, oh, that I had this day died instead of thee.
See, ain't that? Take me, Lord, take me. She's 127 at this time. She done lived her life, so why is she hollering, take me now? I'm at the end of my rope. No, it ain't about you being at the end of your rope. Y'all, so when we hear take me and a mother hollering over cat, it ain't started yesterday. Same thing she hollered. Take me. Why couldn't I have died? Go ahead, bro, read some more.
And she continued to weep and said, it grieves me for thee, O my son Isaac. Oh, that I had died this day in thy stead. And she still continued to weep and said, it grieves me for thee, after that I had reared thee and have brought thee up. Now my joy is turned into mourning over thee. I that had a longing for thee, and cried and prayed to Yah till I bare thee at 90 years old.
What'd she say, 90 years old? Oh, go ahead.
And now hast thou served this day for the knife and the fire to be made an offering. But I console myself with thee, my son, in its being the word of the Most High, for thou didst perform the command of thy Elohim. For who can transgress the word of our Elohim, in whose hands is the soul of every living creature?
So now she coming back when she know the power is completely gone out of her hands. Now she acknowledging the Lord. But this wasn't new with Sarah. Sarah laughed when the angel told her, you're going to have a son in 9 days. A son at 90? My womb been dried up. What are you talking about? He say, oh, you laughing? That's what Isaac mean, laughter. Go ahead, bro, where we at?
Verse 82. Thou art just, O Yahweh, our power, for all thy works are good and righteous. For I also am rejoiced with the word which thou didst command.
So I want you to jump down to verse 86, and we just gonna catch this up to the end, y'all. Then we're gonna move on because we ain't got about a half hour. So what we're seeing here is that she's coming back into her right mind. It's going, it's coming. You know what I'm saying? One breath she thinking about the eyes, the next breath she knows the commandments of the Lord, because she remembering what happened with the angel when he told her, you laughing, okay. You running your mouth, okay, we'll see. When the Lord come to you, we going to straighten all this matter out. You won't laugh, you laugh now, but you going to cry later. We seeing what's happening with that. See, but we look at punishments from the Lord like they're supposed to happen tomorrow. No, the Lord will stack his chips against you, and you 30 years will go by right when you comfortable and think you like that. Then here come that, and it'll flash right in. Damn, that's about that.
Right.
30 years later, that's about that. It's gonna be clear. It say he contend with you, he bring your recompense to your face. The Lord don't do nothing behind your back where somebody have to be talking to you like Job's friends was trying to tell him the Lord, he must have done something wrong. The Lord tells you right to your face, this about that. And you say 30 years, Lord, he's like, 30 years to me is like 3 seconds to the Lord. What is 30 years of your life? It's like 3 seconds, ain't it? To the Lord, because he's in a different time zone. That's why whenever he punishing second and third and fourth generations. This going to your great-great-grandson, he gonna end it. Of this foolishness y'all up to. 4th generations on this one. So what does that mean? If you live 50 years and then you have a son. He lived 40 years and then he have a son. And then you got 2 more generations to go before this curse stops. And then we be talking that noise. You ain't gonna be done because your daddy wasn't done. You ain't gonna be done. Where we at?
We're at verse 86.
What it say?
And behold, Satan came to Sarah in the shape of an old man.
Bring it up, sir. Where we at? 80 what?
86.
86. You went down, yeah. Okay.
Verse 86. And behold, Satan came to Sarah in the shape of an old man. And he came and stood before her. And he said unto her, I spoke falsely unto thee. For Abraham did not kill his son, and he is not dead.
You hear this? Boy, who do this to anybody? Who scares somebody like this with a bad heart?
The devil.
I'm like, you got a monster mask on and your mama on oxygen and blood pressure mess and her heart bad. She walking like this and you behind her with a scary mask on. And you trying to explain to everybody else I didn't think it would kill her. Right. Go ahead, bro.
And when she heard the word, her joy was so exceedingly violent on account of her son that her soul went out through joy.
You see, she died at that news of hearing that Isaac was still alive. So longing for him, and then find out he was end up having a heart attack from that. But guess who was all right there causing all these problems? Mm-hmm. Go ahead, read a little bit more.
She died and was gathered to her people. And when Abraham had finished his service, he returned with his son Isaac to his young men. And they rose up and went together to Beersheba, and they came home. And Abraham sought for Sarah and could not find her. And he made inquiries concerning her. And they said unto him, she went as far as Hebron to seek you both, where you had gone. For thus was she informed.
Look, the last word, guys, she went looking for y'all. She went looking for y'all. So between where they was and where the sacrifice was, he got to go start looking where she could be dead along any of these lines. You know how people go look for dead people when they say, well, we got a radius set up around her and you get everybody in the community to come looking. This what he's at the point now. She went looking for y'all. Go ahead, bro.
And see, that's the thing. Just like Sarah when she was deceived and she said, you know, she wished it had been her. She called death upon herself.
Yeah.
And Satan got somebody. That's what he was there to, you know. But anyway,
yeah.
what she asked for, she got.
She got, absolutely,
yeah.
bro. Go ahead.
Verse 89.
What it say?
And Abraham and Isaac went to her to Hebron. And when they found that she was dead, they lifted up their voices and wept bitterly over her. And Isaac fell upon his mother's face and wept over her. And he said, O O my mother, how hast thou left me? And where hast thou gone? O how hast thou left me? And Abraham and Isaac wept greatly, and all their servants wept with them on account of Sarah. And they mourned over her a great and heavy mourning.
But not once did they say, why didn't he take me?
Right.
Neither one of them. My mother is the same thing with Joseph when his mama died. He was at the grave site weeping for his mama like that. Y'all, we ain't mama's boys. We just love our mamas. It's a difference. It's a difference. That's right. Go ahead. Where we at?
That's it, bro.
That's it for that. Y'all, now we're going to get into an example. We just wanted to show how Satan comes in many forms, and we see angels come in many forms as well. Hit that Hebrews, is that 13 for me? Satan masquerade, angels, strangers.
Hebrews 13.
Hebrews 13, y'all know what I'm talking about.
Before we go any further, Elder, we
Yeah.
door replacement. Man, been out there now.
Who been out there? Y'all, we got to be conscious. Look, and what we need is a timekeeper. We need one individual to watch that time for the door. If y'all ain't never experienced watching the door, it's your turn now. Y'all, and the reason being, we can't let nobody on this floor. We're responsible. We got shake artists out there and thieves who waiting to get in and get out there and wait till everybody leave, then they gonna appear.
Right.
And they gonna rob whatever they can out of there, and that's our responsibility. So what we have is an hour rotation at the door. You ain't gonna miss none of the class. Because it's, hey, y'all been out there? Y'all come back from out there. Somebody else go, who ain't been out there? Get in on that. You a visitor. Don't worry about it. You a visitor, Johnny. You a visitor. We talking about our regulars. No, come on, y'all come back. We got regulars in here. Yeah, Benai go out there. We got regulars in here. You ain't got to be two, it's one. Y'all just get the next one. This probably be the last one. But y'all, we got to get it. It's a monitor out there. Y'all, this is something we got to do as a body. We shouldn't have to do this consistently. All we need is somebody that's agreeing to be the timekeeper. Mark your time, who's down there, whoever decide to do it, we're going to say, we need a timekeeper. You raise your hand, you keep that time mark. Every hour we go relieve them of that door and they come back. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely. All right, y'all, we want to speed this up. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. We want to show a couple more strange wonders of Satan and how he's trying to compare with the apostles and disciples who have the true spirit and working that which is righteous versus these workers of iniquity or darkness. Y'all actually think Satan gonna come with horns on his head. He don't come like that. He gonna appear to what you like. That's how he operates. First thing with these, a tree one to be desired. What she likes. He transformed himself to look like a stout Adam, ready to get busy with the commandment, be fruitful and multiply. And she desired. And she said, and the Lord asked her, what you do? She told him, that serpent beguiled me. He tricked me. He tricked me. Beguile, to seduce. To seduce or trick. Beguile. To seduce or trick out of your virginhood. What you got? He could come at what? Oh yeah. He could come anything. He'll send demons in your sleep. That's the whole thing. Whatever you dreaming about, if it's bad enough, it's going to wake you up out of your sleep. And it's going to be on your mind all day. It's going to change the countenance on your face where somebody going to see it. It say a bad spirit changes the countenance of a man. Either you're going to have a countenance of fire and an aura around you that somebody said it like, man, the Lord on you today. You can see that as well. People see auras around certain people's head. And they can see the Lord with that person. Or you can see turmoil. And people don't want to go back to sleep. When you're going to go back to sleep, you can't keep the Sabbath. Because Sabbath is not so much about not working, it's about resting. If you can't rest, ain't nothing else going to work. Disease set in. the body has, the heart can't pump non-stop 24 hours a day, running full capacity. You gonna break down just like a car. Now, if they got a rest stop for a car, what you think about you? You'll pull over with that car. Now I gotta let Betsy cool off a minute. She seemed a little hot. I'm gonna pull over, baby. You patting on the dashboard.
Right.
And then you won't rest when you pull over. And now here you is like this in Betsy, 2 miles from your destination. Because that's when you get to sleepiest. Because you start to relax. I know this way home blindfolded. So you think. Till they find you the next morning. Crumpled up. 2 blocks from home. Where we at? Let's get right to it, y'all. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2.
Where y'all starting?
Verse 1. Y'all, and then once we hit this, because I want you to see the power that Satan's going to give the Antichrist, and then we want to get into Balaam. And we're going to close out with that, y'all. This was a very wicked prophet individual that the Most High at one time had used, but he was so heavy into witchcraft, it was unbelievable. And make sure y'all hit that in Acts 8. Yeah. Because y'all, and what we're seeing, what we're seeing is nothing short of the same miracles the Messiah was doing. The disciples didn't know who he was standing right next to him. And he like, yeah, the Messiah died. He like, I'm here. And they looked and they like, that is you. When Mary and Martha came to the tomb, they thought he was the gardener. He was just standing there chilling. They didn't think once to look at him. This the Messiah risen. They weeping. Right. And he said, what y'all? They like, they came and they done took his body away. Them some Roman dogs. He like, I'm here. And then they looked, they like, oh, that's you. But he wanted them not to just see him from that perspective, that they will believe. He wanted them to believe in their heart the same way with the disciples. If I take down Rome right now, it's going against all prophecy. So in like manner, if y'all right here, when the resurrection happened, I'm going to let y'all know it's true. That's why he say, feel my hands. Here, right here, that's where they stabbed me with the sword. He was in full spirit at that point. Mm-hmm. But in the same flesh, that's how they was recognizing. Thomas say, I ain't going to believe it. No, unless I see the nail prints in his hand, I ain't going to believe he risen. Now, he walked with him for how many years? At least 3.5. Doing miracles itself, but did not believe in the resurrection. That's where doubting Thomas come from. When you call somebody a doubting Thomas, that's about the Thomas the apostle. And when the Lord came through, first thing he did, he didn't knock on the door, he came through it. And they say they thought it was a spirit, and they jumped back. He say, it's me, Thomas. And Thomas, he looking like, that is him. I hear you want to see my hands and my feet and my side. And he weeping uncontrollably. You shame not. Where we at, bro?
1 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 1. I'm sorry, I'm on second, my bad.
They sharp up in here.
2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 1.
What it say?
Now we beseech you, brethren, by the coming of our Lord Jesus Christ, and by our gathering together unto him, that ye be not soon shaken in mind, or be troubled, neither by spirit, nor by word, nor by letter, as from us, as that the day of Christ is at hand.
Is that what?
Is at hand.
So we see that they're giving out the message about the be not deceived again. The word is be not deceived. See how he's putting it on you? He's not putting it on you to go to nobody else. He's telling every individual, be not deceived, because he coming. You already had examples of him working. You had your brothers trying to portray that they was the Messiah. So you getting full knowledge of how he's coming. Iniquity doth already work. So it ain't like it's going to catch you by surprise. You see people claiming they the Messiah and the sun and the moon still up. How is this going to catch you by surprise? Unless you want it so bad you ready to believe a lie. Mm-hmm. Let's read what it say.
Let no man deceive you.
Let no man do what?
Deceive you. By any means.
By what means?
By any means.
Any means, y'all. That means any means. We just had a perfect example of means about a son. He's transforming. He's going to play on your most wicked and vulnerable, I should say, lesser power of spirit, so to speak. He's coming after that point that needs to manifest. That part that needs to grow. You may be stagnant. You may be holding back on that. Don't want it to prosper like it should because you may have to do a certain walk. Well, he's coming for that weak point. He don't come no other way. Water finds the weak point and comes in. Starts with a little bit of crack that you should have sealed long time ago. Now you running with a bucket of epoxy. Too late. No instructions on that bottle say it stops a hole big as a manhole cover. You can't plug it up with that. Too late. Go ahead, bro.
Let no man deceive you by any means. For that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first.
Except there come a what first?
A falling away.
So y'all, there has to be a great falling away first before we see the Antichrist. A great falling away. And what that means is everybody dropping off. Dropping off like flies. People taking the mark of the beast. Everything is happening. It's at a fever pitch. Nothing seems the same anymore. What you got, bro? We could be at the beginning of it. What we're doing is we're seeing signs that is happening. One of the signs was same-sex marriage. It said men will be given in marriage and given in marriage. So what side do you sit on for the bride and the groom and two men walking down the aisle? How you gonna look like you on the bride side? What that make you look like? That means you didn't accept Earl as a bride. You know what the honeymoon gonna be? Huh? It's still gonna be a honeymoon. Where we at?
And that man of sin.
And that man of who?
Sin. Be revealed. The son of perdition, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he is God, sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God.
And the temple he gonna sit in is not the temple of God. The temple of God is you. He's sitting in you, showing himself that he is God. You now promoting this. The Messiah back. You know this a lie. Just like that boy Warren Brown, who knew that Benjamin Carter wasn't the Messiah. He said, he prophesied before all of them. In 7 years, we will take control of Jerusalem. 7 years and a day came by, he should have been dead. But he kept living and he come up with another lie. Well, you know, I first have to establish myself as a father like Abraham and like George Washington, the father of America. And you believe another lie for 7 more years. And then when it's time for you to be promoted, he picked somebody else. Now you mad and ready to tell on him. We got all the letters, y'all. He on video out there crying to the Muslims. Crying to the Muslims about what Benjamin Carter did.
Somebody, he's the ambassador to black folks. I'm black. I've been chosen to be black folk ambassador. Man.
But see, this because you wanted to believe that lie. Once 7 years should have stopped, he shouldn't have had no respect of persons at that point. You's a liar. But he had been part of the lie earlier when they was going over there on stolen passports, fictitious credit cards. Your name ain't Rufus Merriweather. What is you doing with that credit card with your picture on it? They snuck over there. And then they say, well, we did like Jacob tricked Esau, so we tricking Esau. Well, there's a part 2 to that. Jacob got tricked for 20 years. Yeah, at least tell the people, now Esau gonna get us back, y'all, probably minimum 20 years. Who ready for that? At least give him a fair opportunity, but he masqueraded as an apostle of light, but came with a cloak of maliciousness and tricked them into believing that and been dead ever since. What you got, bro?
What about that temple they was built in Jerusalem?
That what?
The temple they was built in Jerusalem. know that the Antichrist
Talking about the temple they built.
that they supposed to build now. Supposed to push it underground. That's waiting to meet. That'll be a great wonder if it did just shoot up from underground. They can do it. We know they got holograms and different things to put it on satellite and make it look like it's really happening, or make it. I believe they're gonna make it descend down on a hologram and then hit the button on the one simultaneously. Pop, there it is. Because it has to be like what you're reading. It has to be coming down. But that don't happen to after tribulation. I mean, that don't even happen to after the kingdom. Go ahead. After the millennial period. Go ahead.
My cousin's coming out of the Navy because they're forcing all of the officers to get the RFID chip.
What's happening now?
They're forcing all of the officers to get RFID chips.
Where is this at?
In the Navy right now. He's
Oh,
coming out
yeah.
of the Navy because they're trying to force him to do that.
Hey, I felt it.
Yeah.
At first it's coming across as convenience, and that's how they're doing it still to the public. But if you're an officer, or they're trying to do it in the babies too. They're trying to instill the chip. You won't be able to purchase the seal without it. Because once the dollar drop out, that's what you'll be using.
Absolutely.
For currency.
So y'all, we right at the door, like some people say, well, that was 100. How we know that wasn't 1,000 years ago? 1,000 years ago, you couldn't number every man, woman, and child unless they showed up. They can number everybody by satellite. They can track movements. And all they had to do is grab cell phones. They putting that into everybody's hands, so we getting everybody's name and number. And not only that, we building a profile off of you. We'll start answering the questions before you do. Google, how do I find out? How you know that?
You should watch the movie The Circle. It talks about
The Circle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just watched that deal.
I
Yes.
just watched that.
What's it called?
The Circle.
The Circle, it shows you what's ready to come and how it comes across as convenience at first, but then the idea at the end, spoiler alert, they try to force it,
And that's what happens, y'all. But it has to be, y'all, the only difference, it has to be a free will deal. You have to be broke down to the point that where you just say, here.
Yeah, but it's being passed off as convenience.
Yeah.
Until old girl turns his back on him and says, well, look, since you all the founders, we need you to be transparent.
Right.
We need all your emails, your private accounts, everything you've been doing. The crowd was like, yeah. And he looked over like, man, we is dope. Dang, we done trip. Like, yeah. But they pass it off as convenient.
That's convenient.
Everything
Yes, sir.
is just convenient. It's easier for you just to look at all your Facebook friends, all your emails, just get them all up.
You can leave your purse at home. You can leave your
Yeah.
identification at home.
Yeah.
If you have a medical emergency, all we gotta do is scan you. We can know what your problem is.
Medical bracelets.
Look, all of us will walk out of here like this, in hand. It's become an extension of your right or left hand. It's in your hand at all times. Groceries, everything, and this. Get halfway to work, know you on 2 points already, make a U-turn. Go back and get that phone. Then thinking of a lie the whole way to work. I tell them that I just rubbed the tire, get armor all and dirt on my hands, and I caught it damn flat on the way in, boss.
You did that before, huh?
Yeah. Look, because that's what you thinking. Leave the phone at home. But there's another thought. Damn, there's text messages coming through that can't be seen. I got to go back and get it. You should be ready to depart with this in a nanosecond and thrive off the spirit. A lot of times, bro, be like, man, I was just finna call you. We're going to have to start communicating that way. And the spirit going to let us know, bro, need you over there or different things. And we just going to pull up then. We'll be like, man, I was just, yeah, I knew. I felt that. I'm here.
Level of telepathy. You can call somebody before, they say, I just was thinking
about you.
That's not a mistake. You know what I'm saying? It's called telepathy, speaking without opening your mouth.
Right.
You feel me? Like the whole idea of computers and everything they get from the human brain.
That's right.
Sending and receiving signals. You know what I'm saying? Like we been at it, we just be looking at it, well, I don't tell nobody that I sound crazy.
Right.
You feel me? But how many times everybody here can call somebody and they pick the phone up and they say, I just was thinking about you.
Right.
Now, how is that possible? You feel me? That ain't no phenomenon. It's just, you know, we highly spiritual beings. We just doubt ourselves on what it is.
Right. And trust in these right here, y'all. We didn't trust in these 20, 30 years ago because they wasn't around. Your mama just told you check in sometime. You've been gone all day, just come back and check in. And when you didn't check in after them instructions, you can't go back out no more till next Saturday. You don't know how to come back in and check in. Where we at?
Verse 5.
What it says there?
Remember ye not that when I was with you, when I was yet with you, I told you these things.
See what the Messiah is saying? I told you already how he coming. I told you to get ready for the major deception. I told you already. And you gonna think you're gonna twist your lips on the day of judgment and say, when, Lord? You don't want him to put that back on you. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 6. And know ye, and now ye know what withholdeth that he might be revealed in his time. For the mystery of iniquity does already work.
So it's saying you're going to know when he's revealed in his time, but it's going to be his time. Like I say, y'all, we got to get out of this microwave generation. Every house we'll go in, there's probably 40 of us in here. 38 of these microwaves still got a number left on them where you snatch that door open before the bell rung. We can't wait. But you better wait till you see all the signs before you start pointing and saying this the Antichrist. We even had false prophets saying, who was the president before George Bush? He was going to be the last one. Then George Bush, because he was Ronald Wilson Reagan. They didn't understand the number system. It forced the number of a man. Letters mean numbers, not 6 letters in each one of his first, middle, and last name because it's Ronald Wilson Reagan, each one of them 6. That ain't the deal. So you chased after that. Now we got Bush. He the last one. He run 8 years. It's going to be Obama. It's going to be Obama. Now you got the orange pervert up in there. And they hollering he going to be the last one. Let's keep watching the signs. He could be the start of the last one. But we know bestiality is here. They are trying to get animal rights to marry them. And they just said the sex dolls will go on the market next month. Feel like human flesh, human temperature, and they don't talk back. You already getting prepared. Siri, call Domino's for me. Now you ain't got a woman, she ain't gonna never have a headache. Hey! And they gon' look, when they partner with the people out there and get the model you lust after, you get the Serena Williams model. Hey, it's coming because they're mixing kinds already. They're going to allow bestiality, y'all. So we saying the parable of the fig tree is starting to happen in our lifetime. Just like the first slaves knew when them first shackles hit. Oh no, I'm at the beginning of the captivity. It's 400 years prophesied. I'm going to die a slave. I'm going to die a slave. I'm at the beginning of this. It's going to run 400. We ain't lasting but 70 years, but now I'm going into captivity. I may not last but 36 years old. Do I have children during this time? Do I do all of this? I'm at the beginning of our captivity. We on the tail end of it. Where we at? Read some more, bro. Who got a question over there? Sorry, D.
Also, you got that
Nambla. Oh, yeah. North American Man Boy Love Association. Google it.
Sex before it's too late.
Before it's too late. What you got, sis? Hold on.
Is of a little girl.
What?
Yo, they got human. Y'all can do it now. You can Google Geminoids or sex dolls ready for the market. They make them like anybody you want them to look like. They blink their eyes, they talk, they answer all the questions. They can program you. But on the flip side of this, y'all, what we got to be careful of is they're making an image of you. That's why you got to be careful how you answer on these things. Every message have to be answered with righteousness, because they are going to make an image of you from your dark side. And when they see that robot driving that car, and you like, that is him on a slow speed chase like OJ. And that's Malachi driving. And I'm sitting here with me and Malachi watching himself drive that car. We like, man, they trying to get you. Damn. You like, man, these heathens won't quit. Malachi been in Israel on a slow speed chase. We don't know what he's up to. Hey, y'all, it's coming. What you got, sis? About what? Oh, yeah. Fisting kids. Fisting?
Yeah, they put fist up in.
No, not like the definition we know about.
Yeah.
For the shorty's sake.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, it's stuff out there on the net now. Y'all got to understand the tree of good and evil. You can pull up anything good. You can find all your relatives. You can find your classmates. You can find out how to change the alternator on your car.
Right.
You can also Google big black. Who's there? Who's there? Now you start putting out your candles and you making love to yourself. It's date night. Who's there? Oh, I ain't doing nothing, man. Just chilling.
Chilling out.
Hey. They say men shall become lovers of themselves.
Wow. It's date night.
Where we at?
Verse 7.
What it say?
For the mystery of iniquity doth already work.
Right.
Only he who now letteth will let, until he be taken out of the way.
So it says the Messiah is only going to let him run his course till his course is over. And to run his course, it's got to get all of the people that wants to believe a lie out of the way. Because you want to believe that lie. You know this ain't the Messiah. You know it. But you want to deny the Messiah that walked this earth 2,000 years so bad you ready to accept anybody. And that's in our history, because the Pharisees and Sadducees told even Pilate, we'll go tell Caesar on you. Caesar our king. We don't want that king of miracles. We don't want him. He messing with our money and our deception. Now, do you want us to go tell Caesar you pumping another king? He like, I wash my hands of this. You Negroes crazy. You Negroes is lunatics. And then they holler, give us Barabbas. Barabbas would slay a Roman, unjustly though, too. See him walking with his family, cut their head off, anything. He was locked up for that. And when they turned him loose, every Barabbas they showed those boys looking like he out of control. Wild, he come out of there, frogging at the mouth and clapping, and they clapping for him. And the Messiah right there chained up. He come down there, they patting him on the back. Yeah, dog. This old king over here talking this noise, dog. You see, we got you out of jail. He ain't doing nothing. Because every year they had to let somebody go. Instead of them saying, let the Messiah go, they say, give us him. Where we at?
Verse 8.
What it say?
And then shall that wicked be revealed.
Then shall that what?
Wicked be revealed. Whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth.
See, the Lord is going to destroy him soon as everybody realize this the Antichrist. So your judgment is going to be sealed at that point. Whatever you was thinking before the Lord destroyed him, because you're going to see the true law. The sun going to get knocked out. It's going to go into full eclipse on planet Earth. Every mountain going to be shaking. Everything going to be thundering. If you scared of these little bangers we got now and you start gathering up the dominoes, you ain't seen nothing yet. And then you gonna know I've been tricked. Where we at?
And he shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Even him whose coming is after the work of Satan, with all power and signs of lying wonders.
So he said he's going to destroy him that comes after the works of Satan with all power and lying wonders. Yeah, lying wonders is first you have to believe the lie for it to become a wonder. Because you going to help it out. It's like when you go to a soothsayer, you help them out. Your Uncle Billy? No? Oh, okay. How about Uncle Robert? No. Junebug. Yeah, that's it. I got Uncle Junebug. You want to hear that lie. Yeah, your Uncle Junebug, did Uncle Junebug die of yeah, he had cancer. So now they just feeding off of you because you feeding them information. They ain't doing no real work. You feeding them because you want to believe a lie. And you just sitting here with that $40 just waiting for some more information. Now come back in 2 weeks and I'll tell you what Uncle Junior is doing up in heaven then. He's got a word for you. Where we at, bro?
Verse 10.
What it say?
With all deceivableness of unrighteousness.
Of what?
Of unrighteousness.
Y'all, all deceivableness of unrighteousness. This means every law that's on the book, he got something against. Right. Y'all think it's a coincidence they chose the rainbow as their flag, the homosexual pride? The rainbow covered the altar of the Most High. That's right. It's above his throne. It's what he gave the covenant with Noah, the rainbow. And they got it. So now you get scared. You see anything with a rainbow, you throw it away. I don't want to be looking like I'm no fan. So now it got you scared of what you gonna see every time it's storm. And every time you storm, that rainbow come out to let you know, I'm not gonna destroy it with flood. It's gonna be fire. Just like I said, that's still a sign to this day. And they decide that they're gonna stick it in their back pocket, wrap it around men, and they walking boys on dog chains in Jerusalem on their knees. This in the Holy Land. Yeah. Where we at, bro?
And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this cause, Yahweh shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie.
Who's gonna send?
Yahweh.
Because you want to believe a lie. The Most High say all you have to do is ask and I give it to you. Everything that's in this book ain't no return policy. You ask, you keep asking for something you know you don't need, he gonna give it to you. He don't waste nothing. Those demonic spirits left over from the flood, and it's saying they will be after the flood. Here on earth, the giants died, but their spirits are still out here. And the Most High say, well, I'll use them to torment wicked people. Let wicked torment wicked. It tears down the whole house. So he send you them spirits, like the one jumped on Saul, and David had to play that guitar to get him off. So y'all, we see it's been supernatural. It ain't just started in the New Testament. How's David getting them spirits, driving them away with a guitar? So when we see like Raphael, and that's a lot of them out that Tobit you brought up, some will say, well, he using fish gall, and would David use a guitar? Y'all ain't saying nothing about that. What licks was he hitting on there to drive Satan clean away? That what Saul was like this with a javelin, and then that music, pew, pew, pew. Can't stand that damn baby. Sue's a savage beast. Where we at?
Verse 12.
What it say?
That they all might be damned who believe not the truth.
See, damned that believe not the truth. That's condemnation.
Paul cussing?
Oh. Where you at, bro?
But had pleasure in unrighteousness.
But had what?
pleasure in unrighteousness.
Look, they have pleasure in unrighteousness. They know what they're doing is wrong. If they thought that they were born that way, they wouldn't point out another sin. Well, married people cheat on each other. So should that legalize 2 women get married and 2 men get married because man and woman is tripping? Should that change the order because they do? Well, next is bestiality. Well, they don't be committed to their spouse. That's why I got this horse.
Oh. Not a horse.
They actually got, what is it called, that brothel in Ohio, or brothel, bestiality brothel, where you can go through sheep, goat, gorilla, whatever you want. Pay your money and go behind them curtains and come out and they buckling their pants and smile. It's going to become legal. And then we're going to know we full-fledged into Sodom and Gomorrah. Y'all, they've been showing us all along, Ellie Mae always had a monkey with her. See, y'all think this funny what I'm saying, but it's because it's without excuse. So everything you do, there won't be no excuse for you to say, I didn't see it. Because if it's TV, because they don't make up nothing. Everything that every show produced is from the Bible. Activity of the Bible. They just don't look and say, we great minds together, we want to come up with this situation where, okay, a man puts on a dress. He's going to be really funny like that. This Deuteronomy 22. A man should not wear that pertaining to women. So they keep going against the law, and we got us laughing. Tyler Perry. No, it's Tyler Ferry.
Flip Wilson.
Flip Wilson. It's been going on a long time, y'all. We're going to break the law, and we're going to start with Israel. Go ahead. Where we at? You finished that?
Verse 13. But we are bound to give thanks always to Yahweh for you, brethren, beloved of the Lord, because Yahweh had from the beginning chosen you to salvation through sanctification of the Spirit and belief, whereunto he called you by our gospel, to the obtaining of the glory of our Lord Jesus Christ.
Right.
Therefore, brethren, stand fast.
Do what?
Stand fast. And hold thy traditions, which ye have been taught, whether by word or our epistle.
Yeah.
Now our Lord Jesus Christ himself and Yahweh, even our Father, which hath loved us and hath given us everlasting consolation and good hope through grace, comfort your hearts and establish you in every good word and work.
So right there we can hold that, but I want to get right to Numbers 22, y'all. We got about 3 more scriptures and we out of here. And what I want to establish is that Jasher we read, you're going to have the naysayers saying, man, can't nobody transforming nobody. But we're going to see the very book that they love so much, the Old Testament, we're going to see a donkey talking. So we're going to let them explain how that's happening. Numbers 22, and we're getting into Balaam, who was the most wickedest, one of the prophets that throughout history, he's keep being named. It said he was a super warlock. If you will, man, give me that jazz here. 61, verse 7. It's like you click on it, it'll like go back up to the top. I think if you go back, it'll just list all the chapters. Yeah, we'll let it roll. We're going to go to this Numbers 22 while he's pulling that up, y'all. And this is just so, and y'all, what we're talking about is the defense of this gospel against first Israel, because that's who's coming at you to shake your foundation about the Messiah. Without him, that 1 Corinthians 12, all of these gifts we talking about to battle this supernatural ain't gonna happen. You can fool yourself all you want, but it ain't gonna happen unless you believe every word that's written. It's self-explanatory. Everybody that says got a fault in it, they're going to bring in something else and say, well, that shouldn't have been in there. Maybe the Romans put that in there. Or that shouldn't be right there. This happened right there. Once that happened, you can't trust none of it. It's a lie at that point, because that's what they're saying. If it's been tampered with, what does that make it? You can't have lie and truth together and call it holy. It ain't gonna work. Yo, it's like watching Boys in the Hood 15 times. Ricky ain't gonna make it. It ain't happening.
You hope the ending is different.
Hey, it ain't gonna happen. You can look at the scores. He made it to college, but he dead. Watch it again, and he's still gonna be dead. The same way with this. You can try to believe that anything is wrong with this, but you spinning your wheels. You ain't gonna come to the same conclusion because you're not a believer. That means in things seen and unseen, because they're going to be manifested to you in these last days coming up. Y'all, we finna go into some supernatural times. These pharmaceuticals, you saying that these are demonics? Alcohol driving you at a certain level is going to be demonic. Everything, these phones, everything is going to be, games are demonic. You put on these glasses now, it's like you actually walking through an event. Scaring people to death. They pull them off and they like, woo. Well, that's going to manifest itself into this realm very shortly. They working on that CERN machine, and they think they got it to the point where we can open up the portal we need. And it's sitting right on where the hill of Apollyon, it's sitting at the exact same spot. Where it says the bottomless pit is where demons going to be let out at. They already saying we see dark matter. We see stuff in here, but we're going to keep on going. We're going to keep on going because we don't want that kingdom that's promised to come. We don't want to be servants to you niggas. Not forever. Now y'all talking a weekend or something like we let y'all march through Selma, but y'all talking about forever?
March through Selma?
Look, this the same thing Esau was so bitter about when he had but desire for woman, and it say he hated his blessing because of the blessing that Jacob had. Forever blessing. I got to serve him forever. Yes, you do. I can't reverse it. It won't be reversed. It was never meant to be reversed. Where we at?
Read the book of Numbers, chapter 22.
Yes, sir. Let's start about right where Balaam is at. Let me get right there.
You're talking about right where the donkey speed goes.
No, we want to go right where them friends came. Verse 10. Yeah. And y'all read 1 through where we get into verse 10. But what happened was Balaam was a super warlock, so to speak. And messengers, this other king was scared to death, king of Moab, of the Israelites. So they was telling this prophet to prophesy a curse on Israel so I don't lose my kingdom. And he did some very wicked things. Where you at, man, on that?
Verse 7.
Verse 7 then, okay.
The book of Numbers, chapter 22.
I think I got a question, man.
Who got a question? Hold on. Oh, okay.
Numbers chapter 22, verse 7.
What it say?
And the elders of Moab and the elders of Midian departed with the rewards of divination in their hands.
With the rewards of what?
Divination in their hands.
With rewards of magic in their hands. Divination. We're going to do something supernatural here. Go ahead.
And they came unto Balaam and spake unto him the words of Balaam.
Right.
And he said unto them, Lodge ye here this night, and I will bring you word again, as Yahweh shall speak unto me. And the princes of Moab abode with Balaam. And the Most High came unto Balaam and said, What men are these with thee? And Balaam said unto the Most High, Balak the son of Zippor, king of Moab, hath sent unto me, saying, Behold, there is a people come out of Egypt, which covereth the face of the earth. Come now, curse me them, peradventure I shall be able to overcome them and drive them out.
So he said, put a curse on them. This is what he's telling God they asking him. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 12. And the Most High said unto Balaam, thou shalt not go with them. Thou shalt not curse the people, for they are blessed.
For they are what?
Blessed.
Okay.
And Balaam rose up in the morning and said unto the princes of Balak, get you into your land, for the Most High refuseth to give me leave to go with you.
So right here, his understanding is clear. He understands what's going on. He told them, y'all get out of here. The Lord say, I can't go with y'all. But is his heart really there? Go ahead, bro.
And the princes of Moab rose up, and they went unto Balak and said, Balaam refuseth to come with us. And Balak sent yet again princes, more and more honorable than they.
So he's sending the more upper echelons, so to speak. First you send the mayor. Now here come the governor. Now here come the state representative. Higher and higher, trying to get you to come. Go ahead, bro.
And they came to Balaam and said to him, thus saith Balak, the son of Zippor, let nothing, I pray thee, hinder thee from coming unto me. For I will promote thee unto very great honor.
What he gonna do?
Promote thee unto very great honor. And I will do whatsoever thou sayest unto me. Come therefore, I pray thee, curse me this people.
See, so Balaam is now thinking, damn, they really want to champion me and put me up for this. They tell him, we'll give you whatever you ask for. Just don't let them take over. Just curse them. Go ahead, bro.
And Balaam answered and said unto the servants of Balak, if Balak would give me his house full of silver and gold, I cannot go beyond the word of the Most High, my God, to do less or more. Now therefore I pray you, tarry ye also here this night, that I may know what the Most High will say unto me more.
So right here, he's saying, he's fat-mouthing. If you gave me your house, that Cadillac, them gators off your feet, I can't move. But yet he tell them, tarry y'all here this night. She's saying, get out of here. I can't go. But y'all stay here this night. Go ahead, let's read.
Good.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like. Go ahead, bro.
And the Most High came unto Balaam at night and said unto him, if the men come to call thee, rise up and go with them. But yet the word which I shall say unto thee, thou shalt thou do.
See,
that shalt thou do.
So right here, people have a problem with it. They say this is contradictory. Back over here in this verse, he said, don't go. Right here now, he telling him to go. Well, the Most High knows the heart of Balaam. He wants to go. It's itching his ears so bad. All of the great men, they sending these people. It'd be like you get a knock at the door. The mayor of this city show up. And then finally the orange pervert pull up in the beast vehicle out there. Looking out the window, shaking tic-tac. Hey, you want to ride? And you thinking, man, you must be some man. The president that came himself. Go ahead, read some more, man.
Verse 21.
What it say?
And Balaam rose up in the morning and saddled his ass and went with the princes of Moab. And the Most High's anger was kindled because he went.
See, that would seem like a contradictory from the verse before, wouldn't it? Why is the Most High mad? Because he went. See, these are the things that naysayers point to right there. That's what I'm talking. Y'all God so confused, he don't know what. Is y'all God bipolar? You got to be ready for the haters of our God that's scouring through this book to see where they can find fault. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 22.
What it say?
And God's anger was kindled because he went. And the angel of the Most High stood in the way for an adversary against him. Now he was riding upon his ass, and his two servants were with him. And the ass saw the angel of Yah standing in the way, and his sword drawn in his hand. And the ass turned aside out of the way and went to the field. And Balaam smote the ass.
So, what you have? What
to
verse?
turn her into the way. I'm at the top of 24. Now.
Okay.
Verse 24. But the angel of Yah stood in the path of the vineyards a wall being on this side and a wall on that side.
So I'm gonna hold you right here, man, but I want you to keep reading. But we see here again that beast see supernatural things. The beast saw that angel standing there, but Balaam didn't see him. You know, so in like manner, you hear your dog start growling for no reason, and he's looking this way, and ain't nothing there but a wall. Start getting some prayers on. Lord, send your holy angels to defend whatever this is in here. Satan, if it's you, D-E-D-A-D-O. Dead or dope. Dead or dope. And continue watching what you watching. Good boy. But this ain't nothing we saying that ain't happening. We see it every day. You see a dog barking and growling for no reason at what? You'll start beating on. Shut up! I tell you to shut up! I'm trying to watch Empire. Go in your cage. Go in your cage. Where we at, boy?
All right, verse 25. And when the ass saw the angel of Yah, she thrust herself into the wall and crushed Balaam's foot against the wall, and he smote her again.
Now he beating this donkey to death almost now. Cause he want to get there where everybody want to see him. Go ahead, bro.
And the angel of Yahweh went further and stood in a narrow place, where was no way to turn either to the right hand or to the left. And when the ass saw the angel of Yah, she fell down under Balaam, and Balaam's anger was kindled, and he smote the ass with a staff.
Now he gonna beat this thing to death. Because it's trying to save its life. Save his life, so to speak. He see the death angel, he turning every way. He even crushed his foot and he still ain't getting the message. Like where you get a blowout, you get the tire change, then you run out of gas, and you steady heading to wickedness. Just drive. I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there. I'm almost there. And then here she calling in that jam. Come on the radio. I'm on the way. Yeah. I'm on the way. To wickedness. Go ahead, bro.
28. And the Most High opened the mouth of the ass, and she said unto Balaam, what have I done unto thee that thou hast smitten me these 3 times?
So, is this an animal talking? So how would they point at Jash and say, oh man, all that stuff in there that's happening? Numbers 22 right here, this is a donkey talking. Language, English language. And we're gonna hit some 2 Peter 15. Hold that, matter of fact. Get to 2 Peter 2:15, just so we can make sure that it was the language at the time that this donkey was talking. So y'all, because now you'll hear Sunday doctrine all the time. He can make a rock if he want to. You know, when you talk to him about speaking in tongues and ain't no interpreter there, well, he can make a rock cry out. He can make a donkey talk. But we're going to see what voice this donkey talking, and did the donkey break ranks? What you got, brother? And we're going to come right back to this Numbers. 2 Peter.
The donkey speaking was understood.
Verse 15.
Different. He understood what the donkey was saying. You
Second
don't understand what
Peter
they were
chapter 2,
saying?
verse 15.
You understand what they were saying up in them churches?
Yeah.
Somebody speaking in tongues. Don't nobody even understand what they're saying. Balaam knew what that donkey was
Start back
saying.
at yeah, back it up.
That's what you read.
Start at 10. No, start at 9. Y'all, I just want to get 9 down to 15. It's very important, y'all, because it's very, see, y'all, the Most High know our heart. So you got to be careful when you say, well, the Lord know my heart. Yes, he does. That is desperately wicked. At least you acknowledging that. So are you prepared for the judgment of what he knows about your heart? Meaning your mind, what ticks up in here, what makes you move.
Right.
When you think of things, when you do your charity. Is it like 1 Corinthians 13 we read about? Is it pure charity? Or is you up for some scheming and scamming to make somebody look at you? Go ahead, bro. Where you at?
2 Peter chapter 2, verse 9.
What it say?
The Lord knoweth how to deliver the godly out of temptation, and to reserve the unjust until the day of judgment to be punished.
See, so even in your dreams, the Lord will get you out of a bad situation in your dreams. You in the wrong bed, something to fall off, you keep your phone up there, or something right there fall off clunky in the head. You wake up, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Huh? If you don't say, the Lord got me out of that situation, but you get mad and you start trying to hurry up and get back in that dream. Want to get back in there. I done been, I was right there. See, he made a way for temptation. The phone will ring. Ring, ring, hello, hello. 00034. What kind of damn number is that? You ain't looking at that escape. But they showed it to us in the Matrix. Every time he got out, he had to get to the phone. That's right. Y'all, they ain't telling us nothing. Why you think the phone always ring and these things are happening? And then it's doing what they call the witches' hours. The hour of the Most High is his night watches, but it's the time that Satan come at you the most. 3 a.m., between 2 and 3 a.m. If you work a night shift, it's when you gonna be the sleepiest. This means try to learn how to sleep in the day, because soon as you crash out, that's when the boss gonna come in. Earl, Mama? No, that's where you going, to Mama's basement, cause you out of here. Go ahead, where we at?
Verse 10. But chiefly them that walk after the flesh in the lust of uncleanliness, and despise government. Presumptuous are they, self-willed. They are not afraid to speak evil of dignities. Whereas angels, which are greater in power and might, bring not railing accusation against them before the Most High.
So it's saying you are worse. Angels won't even do that. It's like Michael, and to back that up in the book of Jude, it said Michael never brought a railing accusation against Satan when he come for the body of Moses. You don't have to get in the dirt with him for the truth to be real. The truth is what it is. You tell him, I rebuke thee, get back. Now you can say that bold as you want, but you don't have to have a bunch of MFs and flat foot and ugly mother this and that to make it work. I rebuke thee. There to go. Get out of here. You're not welcome here. And he'll leave. And he will leave. What you got, Joe?
Yeah, one more night, I was still at the motel office, and she was saying that she kept doing that and he ain't never leave. I said, what God you calling on, the apostle? And she said, yeah, she didn't believe Jesus was a black man. I said, we on the same thing.
Well, right, so. Right, so.
What is that? You must be called an imposter.
Right. See, but that's how quick he understood there's something wrong in that program. If he didn't leave like he's supposed to, let me check. What are you, obedient or disobedient? Which one you talking about? Go ahead, let's read some more.
Verse 12.
What it say?
But these, as natural brute beasts, made to be taken and destroyed, speak evil of the things that they understand not, and shall utterly perish in their own corruption. And shall receive the reward of unrighteousness, as they that count it pleasure to riot in the day of time. Spots they are, and blemishes, sporting themselves with their own deceivings, while they feast on you.
See,
feast with you.
Feast with you, sporting their own deceivingness. You know you want a piece of this ham. Talking dirty. Whatever they doing, and you're right there while they in your company or feasting with you, or we're talking things, they're proud to say, I'm against that word of God you speaking about. It's like they almost purposely want to see if you get off your game. And you just sitting there looking. I hope you don't choke off that, partner. Or you load, got your head thrown back. You know, you can't chew with your mouth up like this. You ain't a bird. And they be thinking, damn. Just give them something right back. Go ahead, bro.
Having eyes full of adultery.
Having eyes full of what?
Adultery. And that cannot cease from sin, beguiling unstable souls.
See, that beguiling is there again. Unstable souls. Y'all understand the souls that ain't sure about this walk. That's who they coming after, to beguile you, to trick you. Go ahead.
And heart they have exercised with covetous practices, cursed children, which have forsaken the right way, and are gone astray, following the way of Balaam.
Following the way of who?
Balaam, the son of Bozor, who loved the wages of unrighteousness.
What did he love?
The wages of unrighteousness.
So we see they knew how to come at it. What you want, Balaam? What you want? We got it for you. We know you'll work magic for pay. We know you. Go ahead, bro, read some more.
But was rebuked for his iniquity, the dumb ass speaking with the man's voice.
What kind of voice he speak with?
With the man's voice. Forbade the madness of the prophet.
So right here we see that he spoke with a man's voice, so he kept the order even under that. So even when you have like women that want to be teachers of the word of the Most High in front of the congregation. Not saying women can't teach, but they can't teach a congregation setting. It ain't never been written nowhere in here, but they'll use the term, well, he made that donkey even talk. Why we can't talk? Well, what did the donkey talk with? What kind of voice?
Voice of a man.
Go ahead, what we reading, bro? Right, well, she can't do it, it's made up. It's made up. She can make it as deep as she want it to be. But that's just always going to be in front of people, and she's going to be hoarse when she get home. Just like any gay person, that ain't no voice they learn. That's a made up voice that come with that spirit. You don't even hear women sound like that. They don't walk like that. Their neck don't stretch like that because it's a demon in there. Y'all, we're not just labeling that spirit or that sin. What we're talking about is that's the one that's going to let us know what time period we're in. So it's going to hit first. We're not lashing out at that. Only from the situation of it's showing us what time we are in prophecy when this is accepted as an everyday walk. And half the people start believing, well, you know, I believe they could be born like that. You know, anything could happen. Anybody could do. Born like that. Their 23 chromosomes from their mother and the 23 from their father is XX and XY. It's 22 of them from each side of each parent. And there's one that's the same. That's the mitochondrion. But the others are XX or XY. You gonna be one of them. It ain't never been nobody born with triple X or triple Ys. It's XX and XY. What you got, bro?
What about these so-called transgenders and homosexuals?
It's all lovings or pleasures of that. I feel like a boy trapped in a woman's body.
Yeah, but the ones that are born with both
Hermaphrodite.
Both sex, well, what they do is they always take one is just an offshoot of a twin. That's all it is. Eve was cursed with 20, multiple conceptions. So that's a part of the curse of a woman. Multiple conceptions, so that's multiple pregnancies. So that was part of the curse as well. So most of them are offshoots, or it was supposed to be a twin or something. Or some get an extra finger cut off or something like that. Some is just you have this part of the body down hanging out of the side. It was supposed to be 20. So what they do is they take the stronger gender, they look for XX, XY, and they cut off. If it's a boy, if it's XY dominated, they cut that XX part off.
But they still have the choice to follow the Most High's laws or not do it.
If they didn't get it cut off, that XX or that XY gonna dominate them. It's these people now getting all of their genitals cut out and walking in high heels. It lasts but a season. You can't be a 250-pound, 6-foot man walking in some stilettos. They gonna be ground to powder in a block. You can't practice that every day as a man. It ain't gonna work.
They got an
It's gonna be like moccasins the next time they turn that corner.
He got an article out too. He's saying that. He said he wanted to be a man again. Like all the changes he did to his body affected him.
Yeah.
And I don't even want to be in his body no more.
Because you put foreign parts in her. The women put prosthetic testicles in there under skin. That's artificial. And they got a movie out where they're sitting around discussing, a whole group of them are transgenders, about this size.
Hey, man.
We'll get back to it, y'all. But these movies are out here, y'all, so it's nothing to be born that way. All you have to do is say, run that DNA for me. And we'll see if they're born this way, because it's going to be counterproductive. The body is going to go how it was designed. What happened was most of these are not hermaphrodites. A lot of them are, they're letting the children run the house. It says raise the children. Children are raising them. I don't want to do it. What Will Smith say? Well, you know, my children, Jamie Foxx. Oh, Dad, you're old-fashioned because all her friends was gay. And that made me look. I am old-fashioned. No, you're a lawbreaker like your daughter. You're heading that way. You should have turned around. I got turned around when I was babysitting my little sister. Play with me, house with me. I'm combing that down her. My mama came to work and looked at that. Put that damn down. You're going to be a fag. I throwed it right there. If I see you with that again, I'm going to beat you. And that demon went where he was going, the one that kept saying, comb my hair. He didn't say, no, I want it. I'm going to keep combing his hair. No, that demon got out of there too. When the old lady said, I'm going to, and she was looking for that Hot Wheel track, she worked out on me. Let me see you with that again. I'm going to beat you. And she ended the matter. Ended the matter. Same thing with Little Richard. You would see his father was trying to correct him, and he was dressing up. You see his story. They was playing the Supremes. He was Diana Ross. His daddy come home mad. You letting that boy play? They just kids. They just playing. He just get mad and go in the other room. Now his first jam is Tutti Frutti. A hit. Let's get back to it, y'all. We ain't got but a couple more minutes here. We finished that on that dumbass.
I got a question. Right
Before we go ahead and pull up Jasher 61 and 7 up, y'all. Pull up, give me Jasher 61 and 7. Go ahead.
Verse 6 of this same chapter.
Did we read verse 6? Turning it, yeah, go ahead. Read that verse 6. Bro, want to hit that verse 6 of that.
And turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemned them with an overthrow, making them an example unto those that after should live ungodly.
So it's saying Sodom and Gomorrah is an example of what was going on in there, and it's an example to everybody else that want to live like that. So, and they try to say, well, it's about hospitality. Yeah, you get into some wisdom of Solomon, you know, right, 19th chapter, whatever it is, that say that hospitality, well, hospitality is a key ingredient to this walk. It's first. You must first be hospitable. Did I say that right? Hospitable. Mm-hmm. So that's what you must do to greet someone. You got to look. You need some water. You know, pull your shoes off. You know, let's get comfortable. You had anything to eat since you've been on this journey? That's what's offered first. It's on, and y'all, we see it every day. I don't care what state you go through. Welcome to Mississippi. As soon as that sign, there's a welcome center right there. This is what we got. We welcome you here. We welcome you this. We welcome that. Right. Your home in like manner. So it ain't like we don't understand what it is. We see it every day, but we don't see it. You see a rest stop. You rest your car. Don't rest you. The car doing what it's supposed to do. It's pulling a balloon, but you steady stomping on it, and you ain't been asleep. How you gonna do 100 miles an hour and take that curve? And then blame it on the car. That old car. Where we at?
You said Jasher 61?
61 and 7. Y'all, look at this, y'all. This is right. We're getting right back in here because we're going to even see that Balaam was causing us so much problem, and we're going to see what his status was. Y'all, we're going to hit this Acts 8 and we're going to get out of here. Hit that Jasher 61 and 7. Who got it?
The book of Jasher, chapter 61, verse 7.
What it say? Y'all, it's up on the board.
And after some time, Angeas hearkened to the words of Zepho, and consented to him to fight with the sons of Jacob in Egypt.
So once again, after us again. The scrap is about us. Go ahead.
And Angeas got all his people in order, a people numerous as the sand which is upon the seashore. And he formed his resolution to go to Egypt to buy. And among the servants of Angeas was a youth 15 years old. Balaam.
Who?
Balaam. The son of Beor was his name. And the youth was very wise and understood the art of witchcraft.
What did he understand?
The art of witchcraft.
Y'all, this ain't like he played with a few tarot cards here and there. He understood the art of witchcraft.
15 too.
Go ahead, bro. And how old was he?
15.
15. Go ahead.
And Angeas said unto Balaam, conjure for us, I pray thee.
What did he say? Do what?
Conjure for us.
What is conjure, y'all? They got movies out here now called The Conjuring. What does that do? What does that bring up? Who does this sound like? Saul, conjure me up Samuel. So for anybody to say we can't use this, then what is Samuel doing? I mean Saul, when he went to the witch of Endor. He said the same thing, didn't he? Bring me up Samuel. Go ahead, bro.
I pray thee with the witchcraft.
With the what?
Witchcraft. That we may know who will prevail in this battle to which we are now proceeding. And Balaam ordered that they should bring him wax. And he made thereof the likeness of chariots and horsemen, representing the army of Angeas and the army of Egypt. And he put them in the cunningly prepared waters that he had for that purpose. And he took in his hand the boughs of myrtle trees. And he exercised his cunning, and he joined them over the water. And there appeared unto him in the water the resembling images of the host of Angeas, falling before the resembling images of the Egyptians and the sons of Yaakov.
So what he basically made was voodoo dolls. Right. Out of wax that looked like that, and he put them in this water. But notice he did the myrtle trees too. Where's we reading about myrtle trees and miracles? Jacob cloning the cattle for Laban. He stripped myrtle trees and it allowed the thing. So we seeing here a tie to myrtle tree. Either you're going to use it for righteousness or you're going to use it for wickedness. And Jacob was able to clone them cattle, make himself rich, also made Laban rich and paid his dowry for all of them years because he was fat with cattle after that. And he got his out of it, and that was spiritual cloning that you're reading about what Jacob did. Yeah. But they on a whole nother level with them. They are imitators. So cloning didn't start with them. It was just for a part. It started on him, but you'll never see men cloning each other or that practice even coming into play no kind of way, because that would be trying to get somebody else to pay for the sins of this one. We'll make another one of you. He'll pay the price for that. He'll be the scapegoat. Nope. Ain't gonna happen. You ain't gonna do it. Jacob did these for these animals so both people prosper. But these animals gonna be killed, eaten, made for clothing, or whatever they supposed to be. But he didn't make no image of Laban. He didn't double up on 3 Labans when he did that. Read a little bit more of this, man. We're going to jump right back.
And Balaam told this thing to Angeas, and Angeas despaired and did not arm himself to go down to Egypt to battle. And he remained in his city. And when Zepho, the son of Eliphaz, saw that Angeas despaired of going forth to battle with the Egyptians, Zepho fled from Angeas from Africa, and he went and came unto Kittim.
So now, y'all, and we ain't gonna get on this, I'm gonna touch on this and then we're gonna move on because I got these 2 scriptures. See, a lot of people that's saying Esau is not the Edom or the white man or whatever they are is running to Jasher, the 90th chapter. They're not, and they're running, and it's all it's talking about is tributary. It's saying when they became part of the nation, like we're part of America, but we're not treated like them, are we? We still a nation within a nation. We just tributary to them. We subject to them. We got to pass through their laws, their taxes, or whatever we do. We got to hit their census. We got to check this box, check that box. But we Israel. That don't make us, we just a nation within a nation. And this is what the 90th chapter of Jasher is talking about. First Esau conquered Chittim right here. Esau was the king of Chittim way before you get to chapter 90. Chittim just gained enough steam and overpowered Esau on the latter end. But this is talking about controlling land masses and groups of people. This ain't talking about Esau changed his identity and now he's Ishmael. But then who is Ishmael? Who was the promise Abraham made to him? You're going to have 12 princesses. If Esau is Ishmael, then what about Ishmael? Who was Ishmael? But we're going to stick with prophecy. We're going to stay at home because we need to see an Arab in charge of the G20. We need to see an Arab in charge of the money. I don't care where you go. You can't bring me no Arab money. Arabs won't even accept Arab money here. Take some Arab money up to the market up there and see what happens. Don't they do this? And then the popos show up. Who got counterfeit money in here?
Feds show up.
Feds show up. How you got Arab money in here? They called them on you. They won't even accept it. Saddam was in that hole with 700,000, what kind of dollars? And they want to say this. Y'all see, you can read all of the scripture you want, but they're reading landmass scriptures. They're not reading about true Esau and how his blessing is the blessing. Moving through different lands, you get corn and wine, but you're going to be servant to Jacob. Now, how does he get all of that and he's subject to this land? Every place he go, he moved the Gentile out of his spot. Gentiles are the father of the islands, the Eskimos, the Aborigines, the indigenous people. I said that, didn't I?
Indigenous.
Almost then. But he ran the Hawaiians out of Hawaii. Now who you got there? Jack Law in Hawaii 5-0. Book them down on. He ran the Aborigines out of Australia. And who you got now? Crocodile D. Hey, mate. He run them out of the island of Russia. Them was Eskimos. When nobody else standing that cold like that. When the last time y'all seen an Eskimo? On the island of Alaska. Who run Alaska now? So what we need is Ishmael dominating like this and then set their nest among the stars. Is it a space station up there from the Arabs?
Yeah, you rest your case, bro.
Okay. All right. Where you at, bro?
Yeah.
Chittim, yeah. So he's just moving through, and what we're talking about, what these lands was before these British and Suez canals come through and cut them off and make Middle East and different things. He's doing that. The British Isle, Jamaica, who face on Jamaican money? White man. So what we're talking about is we can't get caught up in the madness of that. We got to stick with prophecy because Esau is going to pass the torch to Jacob. Is any Arab in position to turn the world over to Israel? No. What Arab in the position of that? No. What other man other than a white man is in position of that? Look, they don't even have nuclear weapons that they have to sneak and test them. They on lock. If we find out you got any plutonium, we coming for you. We coming for you. And they destroyed that with the Shah of Iran they set up to run through there and got control of the Middle East. That's why they got control of the Arabs. They bowed to them because they needed a base in the Middle East to put their soldiers there. That's why, Bin Laden left them because they let them put that base out there. They like, if you do it, we ain't gonna never get them out. They coming with capitalism, Western doctrine. And the beast that had the wound and was healed wasn't no Arabs. It was the Roman Empire. So we need to look at all of these things before we just jump off the bandwagon because there's a host of new YouTube videos popping up. What does prophecy say? Because if you go by that, then who's in the land now, who's returned, then they Israel. If you use that, you got to use the same way. Then you can't have land prophecy and they in the land now and was put back there through the Balfour Declaration. And then they tell other people you can come back, white people, and we'll accept you here. They are setting themselves up at the great imposter. If you use that scripture form over there, you got to use it for over here. We stick with prophecy. And the prophecies say somebody's gonna hand the torch back to Israel, and ain't no Arab in position for that. They on sanctions. All of them on sanctions. Can you imagine a carton of eggs is $75? You don't get no penicillin. You get aspirin. You think about that, your back hurting and you reach for some Aleve, the strongest thing you can get without a prescription. You try that with some bare aspirin, and probably giving them children aspirin. Where we at? What you got, bro? We got to move on. We finna get out of here. Go ahead.
Yeah, they doing it against the Most High, though.
What?
With everything they doing it against the Most High.
Absolutely, but
in his business, because I'm trying. He already said the prophecy, so what they doing it against him. Is he gonna do what he said he gonna do?
He gonna do what he said to do. He was gonna do, y'all. And this is what we're talking about. Don't get caught up in them. That's the new thing, but that's all designed by Esau to make you look at somebody else. Because the bottom line is, then who is he?
Look, whoever Esau is, that's a hot potato topic. Nobody's claiming it. Nobody can, the judgment that's coming to Esau. So you got everybody hot potato. I ain't Esau.
Right.
You know the judgment that's coming. So then you got folks that saying, well, Esau already been destroyed off the planet. That's another doctrine. But in Jeremiah, it's either 48 or 49, where the Most I say, like I overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah, that's how Esau went down.
That's right.
But then you got to check history. Feel me? What nation been eradicated off the planet like Sodom and Gomorrah since then?
Since then?
None.
None of them.
None. So that means he's still on this earth and them prophecies still apply. So how you identify them is through the prophecy. No matter if they playing hot potato or not. You understand? The prophecies are the telltale signs of who he is.
That's right.
Who do you think you're playing with, though?
And with that you talk about is how most folks go off landmass today. Like if you look at an old biblical map of Shem, Ham, and Japheth, you see Japheth cover majority Asia and a little bit of Europe. And folks getting their minds with white man.
Because he's there now.
Yeah, because they looking at landmass. You feel me? Well, if that's the case, like he's saying, well, you need to be, if you're going off landmass, then you Negroes are Gentiles. The Disraelis are the Israelites who took the land.
Right.
All right, so we have to go off prophecy when we're dealing with end time, you know what I'm saying, what's going on with the Most High and all that. When you put the prophecy to it, mountain dweller was blessed with the sword.
Right.
Who got the best weapons? Who got the best weapons?
Right, and they think, they try to make it the Arab code. He's short with a sword. You think that's what we're talking about? That sword ain't gonna cut off nothing but an individual. We're talking about a thermonuclear warhead.
Blessed with the resource. He wouldn't promise any land, but the Most High gave him all the resources, and he got the weapons to take it.
Who owned the diamonds in Africa?
Yeah.
Who owned all the world resources? Who tracks plutonium that makes a nuclear bomb that you cannot get it? If we find out, they got satellites up, plutonium over here. Oh, we coming for you. And Kim Jong mentally ill, his son. They saying he 2 years from making a bomb that can only reach Alaska. But there's nuclear warheads in South Korea that America has. He won't even get it off the ground. They just let them test to see what he got. But all of that is just to cover up the orange perverts' transgressions. Whenever it's chaos in the White House, there's chaos over here of war getting ready to start. That's another thing for us to get ready for. Because if that nuclear go off, it's going to be what you call the end of the world. Nobody can sustain a nuclear blast. Times Beach couldn't handle dioxin. It was wiped off the map out there in Jefferson County for 20 or 30 years. It ain't been a house built on Pruitt-Igoe land yet. And we know the film we saw them dumping chemicals on the people and the land. Drove them Negroes crazy. Drove them down to the projects we was in, turn it out. We usually could stay out past the street lights. Them chemical-laced Hebrews came down there and they grafted them in, shot the White Castle up that we used to go to every day. Throwing eggs off, cut the lights out the elevator, just went crazy. Let's finish this up, y'all. Where we at?
That
was it on that. Y'all, we're gonna get this last one. Y'all got a couple more, but we're gonna close on out. I want to hit that Acts 8 just real quick, y'all. And John 20 and 14, y'all, we close out.